Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Saga, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time with them to go off an eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it back. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together, take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time.
one loving her. We done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome. D-Love, how you doing? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Let's go live. We're going live. We're right on time. We're about 2 minutes ahead of time, but it's okay. I wasn't planning to go live. Let me just make sure that audio is good. All right, audio is good. I wasn't planning to go live, but we're here. I just wanted to do something lightheaded. There's no tons of stories, relaxing. We just talk. This lady went live not too long ago. That was probably about 2 hours ago. And, I listened to about 36 minutes of video and I was like, you know what? Let's use this to relax today. Maybe we can learn one or two things, And also there have been some updates since yesterday. I've been posting some of them on the community page. I'm not sure if you caught them. But yes, welcome. How's everybody doing? Let's do some house rules though, hit that like button, share, and subscribe as you're coming in. Over here, we talk about trendy topics for the purpose of extracting relationship lessons, particularly from a power standpoint. Okay, we talk about the social, seduction, attraction, power, self, emotional intelligence aspect of things. That's what we do here. If you haven't downloaded the book yet, you can download the book for free at loveandprestige.com. Okay, you can always see that in the scrolling ticker down there. Also, you'll be able to get on our waiting list, for the next book, which is coming out on December 30. All right, but happy weekend to all of you. Happy weekend. If you haven't, by the way, there is counseling available. There's a free trial at lolaandlola.com/discovery. You can go to counseling99.com. Coaching and counseling is available over there. Also, you can join us for back-end conversations at lolaandlola.com/WhatsApp. But yes, as you know, we come here to talk about relationships. The one single most important thing in life. The one single thing that nobody goes to school for, but somehow they give them license for less than $30, $30 US. You can get married. They give you a marriage license. They don't test you, nothing, but you can also potentially destroy your life. Okay, in the worst way, emotional damage. So we tried. The reason why we're here is to mitigate that, to see if we can add some value in those arenas. All right. With that being said, what were some of the updates? Let me see. We found out Jada. Who's Jada? Jada is Will Smith's wife. Okay, Jada is Will Smith's wife. So Will Smith is a rock star in every right. He was a rapper. He was a rapper back in the days. He was a rapper all the way up to probably 99, 2000. He still dropped an album, I think, but these days it's a movie rock star, Hollywood rock star. Probably the largest actor in Hollywood right now. I don't know if there's any. Maybe there's some white people bigger than him, but he's big. He's a powerful guy. But in the arena of marriage, at least in the way we expect it to be, as normal human beings, it's been some funny, crazy stuff, and all of us are in denial, right? then all of us have some very, very strong expectations around marriage when it comes to Will Smith. And we found out like a few days ago that we didn't know anything with regards to how they do their thing, right? But I've been paying attention, right? And I still beg to believe, not beg to believe, I still believe they just happen to be louder than the rest of us, okay? A lot of us go through what they've gone through and what they're still going through. A lot of us have the same sicknesses, but they happen to be the woke one. They just want to speak their truth. And why not? Especially if they can sell some books around it. So Jada is, at least on paper, we found out. Hold on. At least on paper, we found out that Jada is being, on paper, they've been married since 97. How long ago is 97? So 26 years? 26 years. Is that 26 years? Yeah, something like that. Yep. So they've been married on paper, but according to her, she revealed some few days ago that they've been separated for the last 7 years. So in terms of married, the way we ideally look at it, which a lot of people don't even do that anyway. They did it for 20 years. She has some, she's quite troubled, admittedly by her. And the last time we covered this story here, I read some of the stuff that's obvious. This person has a troubled childhood. Brother Patrick, how are you, sir? How are you, sir? Sunshine, hello. Good evening. Welcome. All right. And good evening to D-Love, my G again. Welcome. All right. Please announce yourself in the chat. I'm live. Okay. Just say 1, 2. Say 2 if I'm not watching live, and say 1 if you're watching live. Just so I can feel like I'm not talking to myself. Okay. I do see the number, about 16 people, but just, help me out. Okay. And as you're coming in, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe. Okay. So I'm still going to stick to my guns. Shout out to you. Shout out to Think Deeply. Hello. I'm still gonna stick to my guns. That they're not way crazier than the rest of us as people try to paint it. Okay, I get why it's being painted that way, because I feel the same way everybody else feel. Like, what in the craziness? What is going on, right? Especially I personally, Brother Ola, how are you, sir? I personally cannot stand the old August Azina thing, and I think I'm jealous for Will. It's just annoying, okay? It's just like, what the right? Exactly. So, but if I remove that, my small emotions, which I don't know Will Smith personally, if I remove it, it's all making sense, okay? So she went live, and I want to play that video, but the old Tupac thing is just weird. Like, at some point, this is why I also talk about social intelligence. It's not good enough that you want to speak your truth. No, terrible. Like, no, stop the whole speak your truth thing. People need to stop shoving that up there. You know what? Right? If you're going to speak your truth and you're going to kind of like shake everything up, everybody's kind of like weirded out. Like, no, like, you're weird. You're weird, right? That's why I added social intelligence to our studies of relationship. Okay? Like, no, I just, I'm judgmental, so I just judge. We all judge. No, you're weird. You're weird. And I can't say that enough. You're just a weird person, and you collect. Okay? And not because you're speaking the truth, because honestly, I think you're a liar at the end of the day. Right? But you collect. Why? Because, Mora, Yoruba people say, Mora. Why, look around. My father said, you don't know the difference between your left and right hand. Like, you don't look around. Like, it's not every time you just open your mouth. It's not everything that your eyes see that you must say. That's why you will collect. Okay, and the worst part is that when you start to collect, you won't know because, I was just speaking the truth. It's not, I was just the truth, right? Yeah, but you collect. And you have to be okay with the consequences of speaking your own version of the truth without being aware of your surroundings, like paying attention. Read the goddamn room before you open your mouth and start talking. Very, very important. And I think Jada falls in that category. Now, I want to be easy a little bit because sometimes we don't know what people are going through. It might just be their only way out, right? Before they commit the ultimate. I told you, I read it to you last time. She had years upon years of trauma, troubled childhood when she continued to contemplate committing the ultimate, the S word, the big S word, right? SUI, the other one. Start with a C, right? So we don't know if this is our only way out, right? And now when it comes to Will Smith, right? That's the mother of his kids. Like, what do you want from him? Really? Like, what do you want from him, right? So that's why we're going to talk about unrealistic expectations today as we're going through this video, right? I do think the whole Tupac thing is weird because now, just a few hours ago, there's another headlines. It's on my community page somewhere of us saying that Tupac was struggling with alopecia. I'm like, this woman, can you leave? Can you just let... Can you let the poor guy? Can you let him rest?
Let be poor. Breathe.
Let Jesus, like, let him rest in. I mean, even right now they're going through the whole, trying to resolve the whole case around how Tupac was murdered 25, 26, 27 years ago, right? But you wouldn't let him rest in Jesus. Okay. Now, in terms of letting a person breathe, can you let your husband breathe a little bit? Like, I know he's trying to help you, he's being there for you, he's staying with you, hanging out there. He probably does his thing out there, but he's, in terms of as a family, he's holding it down. Will Smith is holding it down. And so much respect for that, because the easy thing to do is what everybody is saying they would do. That will never be me. Like, of course we know that will never be you. We know this already. This is why the youths are all over the place. Can't keep a whole family can't keep a simple family together. We know that will never be you. We're very clear about that. But when you think about family, the typical human mind, including me, you think about sex. Without sex, it's no longer family, right? And that's false, because even your ex-wife is your family. I mean, what are we talking about, right? Your ex-husband is your family. Unless something crazy and the government actually deemed them fit to be taken away, put away, right? But usually that's not the case. The case we're talking about here usually is you have an ex-husband, ex-wife, they're still your family, especially if you have kids with them. You have no choice. There's no way around it. And the faster you see them as your family, right, the easier your life will actually become. Oh, you didn't see it like that, right? No, that's the reality, right? Before you know it now, somebody is weaponizing children, and they are taking the children, they're hiding the children away from them, because somehow they're fantasizing about the idea that this person is no longer family. That is a lie. They're still your family, and you don't get to do that without collecting. Listen, if you are weaponizing the fact that you have to remain in a person's life against them, you will hurt yourself, right? So I listened to the whole Dotun story. It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel for him. But, running to the internet is still, I don't know. But again, I give him the same grace that I'm giving Jada. You just don't know if this is the last out that this person has. You don't know if they're getting ready to commit the ultimate. Right? So sometimes a little mistake, kind of like a mistake like slapping a man on the stage, which you can be put away for that. Right? A little mistake is what might be sustaining you, right? Hopefully you don't destroy yourself in making such mistakes. But anyway, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's ping everyone else into the room so I can go ahead and start reacting to the video. I'm going to share my screen with you right now so we can go for it and just dissect what she's saying word for word. Leave Tupac alone. Let Tupac and your husband breathe. Somebody said Jada Pinkett Shakur. I'm like, she won't rest. She deserves all the woto she's collecting because, hey, she's selling books, okay? So if you're selling books, you must be ready to receive it too. But let's see what we can learn from all of this, right? Yeah, I think we can learn one or two things from this. Let's bring Jada and her mother to the stage. They did this live about, they did about 2 hours, 3 hours ago, something like that. So this is fresh. You might start seeing more of this out there. Let me play and then we'll get to it, okay?
Hey everybody, just had to hang up with Willow. We're here with Gam Bam is in the house.
Do me a favor, before we continue, can we turn up on the likes? I'm missing about 8 likes. Can we turn up on that? Can we get the likes up to 12 or so? Let's get the likes up. I beg. Let's get to it, and so I can continue. If I can get about 3 more, we can get going. I beg. Somebody just hit it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hit the like button. Let's go. That's how we ping everyone else into the room. That's how we tell the algorithms that we're actually getting some value. Thank you. I need one more. If I can get one more, we can get going. Thank you. Don't worry. I'm not forcing your hand. I'm begging. Let's go. One more. Can we get one more? Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's go.
You decided to hang out with me today so we can talk a little bit about Worthy. This book right here.
She's selling
this
books.
Book right here. And
don't
please,
get that
everybody,
twisted.
I signed thousands.
Yes.
Okay.
I can attest to it. I was sitting there while she was signing.
Weeks. I signed thousands of books. Okay, so please buy one. It's in the red button is in the corner. So great to see you on Talk Shop Live. Brian M., it's so great that you joined us for Talk Shop Live. Like now, so excited to see you. Thank you so much.
So, just in case you don't know, I'll keep playing it.
Sandra.
They're just greeting people right now. So, just in case you don't know, that's the mother. They look like twins, don't they? Right? She looks good for her age. The mother. I think she's probably in her 70s or so. But she also had I don't think they had a relationship when she was growing up. But it was very troubled childhood for Jada. Okay? And one of the things that people don't realize with this issue. Chingy, how far? How you there? One of the things they don't realize with these issues is those childhood, this like energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's the only thing you can do is channel it. You can channel some of your past traumas. You can channel it properly to actually make the best, most optimal experience in life, right? But oftentimes that's not the way it works out. A lot of people will collect potentially your future husband, but hopefully he's done enough work. And from what I can see, I think that Will Smith has done more than enough work to actually be able to withstand what is, quote unquote, to us is going through something, right? I don't see it that way, okay? But let's see. They're going to talk more about all of that stuff right now. I don't see it that way. I think we're seeing the residues of what they've gone through for years, if not years ago. I think that's what we're seeing. But we're taking it personal because, wait, how dare you? Our picture of perfection, you tamper with it, right? Aha, expectations. Let's keep going.
You were going to do it by any means necessary. For sure. But yeah, for a lot of it, I tell you, my favorite part is when you asked me my friend comes up in the red BMW.
Oh, right.
And we're just on the porch, and he's like, "You want to take a
Yeah, it probably did feel like that because I was not
That's
playing
what
with
it
that.
felt like.
I was not giving you a choice about that.
And that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
because
It started a little, so I'm winding back a little bit.
Because I had to add, we had to fact check each other.
Right. But there was one fact that was so totally off.
Which one?
When you were going to school and when when you didn't want to go away to college, and you said, I said. We can take it to the conference. I never said that to you as if I was going to fight you.
Well, no.
All right, so they're talking about when they were writing the book, and there was one particular situation where they had two different experiences, right? I say that here all the time. A lot of time when couples are fighting or people in relationships, it could be siblings, you will hear very often people will say, well, people will say, well, you're a liar. You lied. No, you're a liar. That's not how it happens. Sometimes we'll say it in different, we'll say it even maybe similarly nicer way, but it still hurts because somebody's trying to tell you that you are crazy, right? And that's what she's talking about. That they were trying to fact check each other when she was writing the book, and that's some of the things that create frictions in relationships. If you can just, for once, it's okay that you're in the same space and both of you are having two different experiences. This is the reality. It's actually not, it's okay. It's just a reality. We could be in the same space, right? And we're having two different reality. Okay, let me see here. Oh, okay, better. All right, good. Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't understand that. So every time somebody says something that is just completely different from what you remember, you're like, you're a liar. Well, you just call them a liar. A little bit of resentment seeds is sown. Okay, you won't know now. You might not find out until 5 years from now. Just do little like that. You're sowing those seeds, right? Eventually, everything's gonna bust open. You always call me a liar. I never do anything right, right? So let's continue.
I'm just saying,
that was horrible. I was like, I never said that.
I was like,
but I was very serious. I definitely.
That's
had
what
to
it
get
felt
you out.
like.
Yeah, it probably did feel like that because I was not
That's
playing
what
with
it
that.
felt like.
I was not giving you a choice about that.
And that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
because we were at odds at that moment.
Right,
'Cause
but it was critical. It was a critical decision. I knew you had to get out.
You see,
I knew you had to.
It was. Let me see. I think I might have just muted myself. Okay, I'm talking. She said it was a critical decision, right? That critical decision can go two ways. No, you're a liar. Or, you know what? This is very tough for me to accept or admit, right? But she just lied. I'm just going to talk it in, right? And act like she just didn't lie, right? Or lie against me, right? But you're building, if as a man, you're building resentment. You're pissed off that why she's like, that's not what happened, right? Or you could say, well, it looks like we had two different experiences, right? And you're like, no, but that's me giving them an out, a pass. But they lied. Let me tell them they lied. Well, guess what? I will never take away from you that you're right, because you're probably right, because this is your experience, right?
Well, you're right.
You're right. But there's consequences for being right sometimes. Not particularly because you're right, because you're obsessed with being right. So it's a critical decision that often had to be made, right, when you are having friction with another person. Now, in this case, that's our mother, right? And it's been difficult. It's easier said than done, right? Yeah, of course, right? But the more you do it, the easier it gets, right? If you find yourself where they call it conflict, right? You want to understand conflict resolution, right? You find yourself in that kind of space, remember this moment, right? It's okay that you had a different experience than the other person. No, but they're just a liar. Okay. Like I said.
You're right.
Let's continue.
So yeah, and I knew that you were gonna do it by any means necessary. For sure. But yeah, for a lot of it, I tell you, my favorite part is when you asked me my friend comes up in the red BMW.
Oh, right.
And we're just on the porch, and he's like, you want to take a ride? And I'm like, you were just talking about you wanted some French fries. And he's like, yeah, give me some fries and a Pepsi. And next thing you know, you picking me up from the police station.
Oh man.
Because we went on the, it was a stolen car. I didn't know. Let's see what we got. Henrietta R. Hi, Jada. Congrats on your new book. Thank you so much. Olivia T. So happy for you and your book success. Thank you. Regina S. Have the video started yet? Yes, Regina, we have started. Brittany Kennedy. Beautiful face. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you. It's so nice to see all of you here.
Let me see if I can increase the speed. I can't. Sorry.
Dr. Jada.
Well, let me just say this. It was still kind of painful. Yours is not it's not a happy story.
Right.
But I do want to start out as your mama.
Right.
To clarify some things, because I'm a little tired of all the vitriol being thrown your way. I'm sick of it.
Right.
And I just want to say that, when you guys decided to separate, okay, that was a decision that both of you made. You're both separated. You did not cheat on Will.
Right.
You're both parties are living their lives, both. Okay, so it's not just you.
Right.
And I need to make that really clear.
Right.
Because I'm a little sick of that foolishness.
I got you, Gam. I understand.
All right.
I understand.
I love Will to death. He's my.
All right, so you guys buying into that? Anybody buying into that? You agree with that? She didn't cheat on Will. You buying into that? You agree with that? It was not cheating, or it was cheating, right? Remember, we're talking about August Asina, right? Was it cheating? Was it not cheating? What do you guys think? Mama said, I'll knock you out if you call it cheating again. Like, no, they were gone their separate ways, and it was not cheating. Now, for me, I still feel funny. Like, Mama is, because it was August, the friend of her son. Can you pretend like that never happened in your world? Why you have to say that? I don't understand. But you get to a point of survival. We're talking about her daughter now, right? I don't care. I don't care. Right? I don't care who she slept with. I don't care if it's the son of my grandson. I don't care.
Don't care.
Yeah. This is why sometimes I'm on the fence, because I understand some people that say shame. Where is shame, right? But I agree with myself. I've always told you shame is a function of values. If a person does not subscribe to your value, you can't ask them for shame. And also, whatever your sense of value from 1960 is, it's evolving too. So sometimes it's evolving with emotional intelligence, mental health, knowledge, and awareness, right? And some of those have to take the subordinate position if you have to trade one for your mental health, right? Tia said, even if it wasn't cheating, it was the wrong damn person. Like, can mommy just stay away from that topic? Is that possible? All right, so that we can get our wishes once and for all. The perfect family, right? That would never happen now, obviously. But let's continue.
My guy, we are family, and I think the other thing that people need to be clear about is that this is not a tell-all.
Yeah. Right.
What is it?
This is not what this book is about.
Oh, it's not a tell-all. It's not a tell-all, but we're gonna tell all, including Tupac Shakur's alopecia, and Mama. All right, let's continue.
You talk about how originally you wanted to name the book Unlovable.
Yeah, I did.
Wow. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, just the pain of that. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't want to name it Unlovable because it was like Unlovable being the start of my journey, and that I feel like so many of us feel that way.
Right. But that's what the book is about. It's about the journey
through unlovableness.
Right.
Yeah.
From being feeling unlovable to now feeling worthy.
Yeah.
And what it takes to get there, because there's a lot of us who have been through that.
Yeah, it's such a universal feeling.
Exactly.
Which is why I wanted to write the book, right? I wanted to write the book because I just wanted to really show the journey that I was on, like what it took for me to get to a place of self-worth, because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And I think people need to understand that too, because we think that if it's not easy, then we're cursed.
All right. So this self-worth thing is, I don't know if you noticed that it keeps coming up. Even before she broke the news to herself 3 days ago, right? This self-worth thing keeps coming up. It's reality, right? It's the reality. Your self-worth is reflected in your story, right? So it's kind of funny. Now, with regards to the title worthy, right? The title worthy is almost like an oxymoron when you compare it to the public sentiment right now, which is like, who told you you're worthy? This one is calling herself worthy. Who is she worthy to, right? And that's a good question. I'm glad you asked, right? Who is the most important people that you should be worthy to, right? It's not the public, right? It might reflect in public, it might align, but maybe not, okay? Maybe if the public knew what they don't know, maybe they would disagree with you. Would that still tamper with your self-worthy or self-worthiness, right? She was going to title it Unlovable. Would the public be happy if she titled it Unlovable? Yeah, they'll be like, oh, yeah, damn sure. You know, when they say, oh, bad marriage for life. Yeah, we agree with that. That's a bad marriage, right? So maybe they would have agreed with it, right? But I don't think it matters. You know, Ebenezer always said, kò sí ọgbọ́n tó lè dá, kò sí wá tó lè wù. There's no way to satisfy the world except the closest thing to it is self-worthiness. Let me just be frank with you right now. Let me tell you. Does that sound kumbaya to you? Welcome to the real world. The only way to satisfy the world, the only thing closest to it, which I don't think you need, that should never be your goal, by the way. But you're a human being like the rest of us. You know, we benefit from significance, a little validation from outside bodies. We love it. It makes us feel special, right? Especially if it's your romantic partner. I get it. Okay? But there's a level that you get to where you're obsessed, where you might not get what you're looking for. Right? You have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful because it's very likely that you won't be as popular as Jada, right? So your livelihood may not surround selling books or anything like that. But you will still collect if you don't take care of yourself. If you put people on a pedestal, the idea of you, how they see you, their opinion of you, if you put those things on the pedestal, they will fall off. And you'll be left with nothing but a shell of yourself because you never took the time to take care of yourself, understand yourself, discover yourself, you know. You've never taken the time to do that, right? But people don't care. They'll move on at the end of the day. Now, I still disagree with the woke, let's tell the whole world thing. I don't like, that's, you know, that's why, again, social, you know. But again, who are we to judge that? Because we don't know what that person is going through internally, right? We're just saying, I'm just kind of like dissecting everything, okay? Let's continue, Sha. But unlovable, worthy, you know, but I think the message is powerful. I don't think public sentiment will agree with the messenger, especially when she keeps bringing Tupac Shakur into and especially if Will Smith is the lovable guy that everybody wants, like the people are defending him, including women, right? So, and I don't think it's innocent either, but you know, it is what it is. This is why social intelligence is important. The way we see men is different from how we see women. It's not the same. That's our reality. All of us, our reality. So we can't pretend Like, oh, what if she's a man? Good question, but she's not a man. Let's continue.
Something's wrong with us.
Right.
We don't deserve it. And it's like, no, you know, that it's a difficult journey for all of us, you know?
Right. And everybody has to figure out their own path to get there.
Yeah.
But one of the best things I like about the
that's one of the most dangerous things that I'm hearing a lot of people repeat. We have to all figure out our path to get there. It is truth, right? On paper, right? But there are principles that tend to be the same across the board, right? And I know she probably like, of course. No, we need to start spelling it out because there's too many people moving mad in this street doing, let's just do you. Just speak your truth. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good. There's, again, shame was a big part of our right? Which, again, the shame has to be connected to value. So we need to address value, not the shame, because shame is a symptom, right? Our values are misaligning, right? So misaligning with what? Good question. Let's have the conversation, because maybe my moral values are different from yours. Maybe it's evolving, right? We need to address those things so that, because when people feel like something is bastardized, when something is off base, right? When something is just off, right? When enough people feel that, it reflects on our overall experience. It tampers with our overall experience, and then they will hurt. They feel hurt. The hurt is real. They will hurt other people, right? So as much as Will is doing his best to be, right? Remember, Akunwasile, then he decided to bitch slap another man on a stage, right? Who knows what the next one is going to be? It's not healthy to walk around and tell people to just figure out how to. No. There are structures in place. There are institutions in place. There's ways that we do things. That's why we call it social construct. That's why we have social intelligence. And then we are in some kind of accord. I'm not saying absolute, but no, we can't go to the other extreme too, where everybody should just discover. No. There should be some kind of structure. There's some things that we should spell out as no, we don't know. It's a no across the board, right? We already have that at institutional levels, but when it comes to emotional issues, emotional matters, family matters, and stuff like that, there's not enough. People are going crazy and going mad and stuff like that. And one bad story is one too many. We need to pay attention to that. So as much as that statement is true on the surface, everybody's journey from unlovable to worthy is different. It is different. However, people need structure. People need guide. Some people can't figure it out. Some people will hurt other people in the process of trying to figure that out. So we can't just leave it into the hands of fate. Everybody should just figure it out. That's chaotic. We can't do that. We need to slow down on those ideology and then reassess it properly and make sure that it's holistic. Make sure it works for 8, 9 out of 10 people, right? Not just this one thing that works for 1 out of every 10. That's chaotic. That's not called civilization. Anyway, let's continue.
Book really was those parts in the book where you have taken the time to do your introspection,
right?
And then you share that with the reader and give them an opportunity or kind of like a little guide to do the same.
That sounds good.
I thought that was really very different and an important part of the book.
There's a young lady, her New York Times article, her name is Maya. She did a New York Times article, it's out online today, but she called them guidance pages.
That sounds good. Yeah. Like a workbook aspect of it. That sounds good. But let's be honest. People judge the book by the cover. They do. It is what it is. They judge it by the cover. Majority of the people that might need to get to those kind of workbook, they might not get there. But I think more than enough people that are curious enough will get to it. A lot of curious people will get to it, right? But we'll see. I don't know if I'll read the book yet. I generally don't read this type of books, but I read Will Smith's book. I think it would make sense that I read the book too. Let's continue.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it felt like.
Opal Robinson. Hi, Jada. Hey, Opal. see who else. All the way from. I'm only seeing the trailer. Is it live yet? Oh, my fault. Demi Holmes. I love you, Jada Pinkett-Smith. Thank you. Hey, Jada. Hey, Gam. Okay, there's a lot of. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, you guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and a lot of it isn't coming through either.
Yeah, it's a delay.
Yeah, it's a lot of hellos. But does anybody have any questions that they want to ask, Jada?
Y'all silly. Oh, let's see. There we go. So. I'm gonna say one more time. Get you a book. There's the red dot over there. And let me see. Like I said, I signed a bunch of them. So just make sure, please.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? All right. Sorry about that. Thank you, D-Love. So yesterday, Dotun was on Daddy Free's show, and I felt for him. He was even crying at one point, talking about how the Banj's family, the Banj in-law, the Banj is a music star in Nigeria, one of the biggest artists in Nigeria. That's the sister you're looking at on the screen. Is married to an on-air personality radio guy. Who is a hype man. That's Dotun on the screen that you're looking at on the screen. And he was crying, and he said a lot of things that they did to him, trying to blackmail him, blacklist him by way of the band's power in society. And the mother, was very mean. The mother was very mean to him. They didn't allow him to see his children. All he wanted was to see his children. I felt for him, because I know that is the reality. And I tell you guys here all the time, don't get there. Once you get there, you will require lots of patience. There's no way around it. Lots of patience, more patience that you realize you've ever had. You will be required. Excuse me. Okay, if you find yourself in divorce court and custody battle and all that kind of stuff, you will collect on either side. Okay, it requires lots of patience. Okay, it's just what it is. And sometimes you feel the need to run to the internet, and the internet might complicate issues more for you. Anyway, so it was crying, and people have been reaching out to them. So I'm looking at this breaking news right now that was just posted 49 minutes ago. I guess Taiwo, who is the Banj sister, finally said something. Okay, so I'm going to break that right now. I'm reading it from Linda Ikeji's blog. Dotun, firstly, she's addressing Dotun. Dotun, firstly, I want to apologize to my daughters. I would have loved to remain silent to protect them and shield them from all this madness. Now, before I continue reading this, my opinion is that there's so much about Dotun that we don't know. Okay? There is no smoke without fire. It doesn't mean he was guilty. I'm just letting you know the nature of custody battles and divorce and all this kind of stuff. It's messy. There's no such thing as fairness when you're fighting it. Okay? It's just the reality. So the idea that he's just innocent and everybody is taking advantage of him. The band was last night at Wizkid's mother's funeral, and he probably was just putting out a mask. It's probably a family issue going on with them, But the bottom line is that when you're going through custody battles. And so if you can do anything in your power before you get to avoid it, because it's almost impossible that you have that level of patience we're requiring, that I'm asking for. You see how people push back against me and say, yeah, you think you've got to figure it out, you think it's all perfect and stuff. You see how people say that? It's because it's almost impossible to have that kind of patience that will be required. It's still required, right? So the more you go the other route, somebody said, if you go high, I might go to the gutter, or if you go low, I go to the gutter. It's nonsense, okay? You don't know whose gutter is deeper. You don't know whose hell is going to be hotter. You don't know whose were is bigger than yours. You're deceiving yourself. So if you can do anything in your power to avoid, you avoid that, okay? Chinye says, not fun at all. No, it's not a walk in the park. Yeah, we just deal with it when we get there. Yeah, right. Good luck, okay? Either man or woman, it's not different. It doesn't matter who collected the money, you collect if you find yourself in that space. So I don't think Dotun was innocent. I think a lot of people are starting to buy into the story that he's just an innocent guy. I think a lot of people also see but they just want him to see his children, okay? To be fair, a lot of people at least let him see his children. But again, that's you asking for fair fight. It doesn't exist. Okay, it's unrealistic expectations, and that's what we're talking about. So I wanted to do this break. Let me continue the reading, okay? So she said, Dotun, this is Taiwo, that's the band's younger sister, right? I mean, Dotun reviewed so many things. He reviewed that Kende with K-Switch. Is it K-Switch or K-Solo? I don't know. The band's younger brother that used to also sing, that he's been using. He said a lot of things that are just family secret that he was trying to review yesterday, and that's what happens. You will talk too much. Okay, why? Because you're hurt. You're attempting to hurt other people. Just natural knee-jerk reaction when you feel hurt, right? So he said a lot. Okay, but anyway, Dotun, firstly, I want to apologize to my daughters. I would have loved to remain silent to protect them and shield them from all this madness. I also want to apologize to my family members as well. Mommy and Daddy Emma Binu. The bunch, I'm sorry for all this may have cost you. Dotun, you have finally succeeded in making our private life public, which you know that I do not support. I am not surprised at all, because all you ever do is to be deceitful while entertaining people. Stop misleading Nigerians. Okay. The main point is he needs to see his child or his children. Is he able to see his children? That should be debunked first, right? But that's me asking for people to be fair. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It work, right? People, when they find themselves in divorce battles, there's no such thing as fighting fair. It's unrealistic expectation on your part to be asking for that. The only thing that's going to work is lots and lots of patience. And the only way to make it easier is to just realize that patience is for yourself. Because you will run mad if you don't just calm down. Okay? if you run mad. But anyway, what did she do? Instead of okay, let's see if I can, at least let me address it. She said, no, let me double down. Right? But let me see, maybe she will address it. I'm still reading. I'm reading it live with you, okay? She says, stop misleading Nigerians. For 8 years, I tolerated your, here you go, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. This is what she's saying, okay? I can never recover from the trauma and pain you caused me. How did you expect me to raise the girls in that type of environment? Wait, we're no longer talking about the marriage. We're talking about the marriage is over by now, I thought, right? We're talking about custody, particularly custody orders that were given by the courts, right? Do you think she will still address the custody issue? Let's continue. Somebody said, what did he say about K-Switch that he uses? He abuses drugs, something to that effect, allegedly. But that he's always crashing on people's couches. He has no home. His children, he has a child who hasn't seen for 7 years in the overseas. He talked about the band's loss of his son, that he was there He said he was there for him when he lost his son, that why is he doing this to him and stuff like that. He broke down, he was crying live on Instagram with Daddy Freeze last night. Anyway, the auntie should come back and tell us what the children is. But what is she doing? She's talking about the marriage. What did I say about people that are hurt? When people are hurt, they hurt. It's as simple as that. Then you want them to fight fair. Yes, by not holding or weaponizing your children. I know. I think they shouldn't. I think it's a terrible place to be when you're weaponizing your children against yourselves. I do think that. But I don't think telling them that will solve the problem. Because what they will do is they will push back against that to justify that that's not what they're doing. They will pull out more ammunitions and receipts, right, to say that it is you, not them, right? And now it's your word against theirs. And the actual issue is never really addressed. In the first place, we don't know if the actual issues are the children. That's just us believing Dotun, right? So if we believe Dotun that is the children, right? Okay, good. We can't get the other person to agree that it's the children. So we still have problems. You get it? The only way is patience. Okay? That's the place to start from. And then we start assessing everything else. Right? Lots of patience. And then we start assessing it. You don't just sit down in patience. That's not the point. The point is that you can, you need to start from there. And you need to forgive yourself. Sometimes you break that patience. You have to start all over again. You forgive yourself too. Because you're a human being like the rest of us. So he just broke the patience. He has to start all over. See, everything that just happened in the last 2 days, he has to start all over now. Okay? Because what is this woman talking about? She's talking about stuff inside of the marriage. Okay? If she's trying to justify, she probably doesn't know what she's trying to say. Let's continue. I can never recover from the trauma and pain you caused me. How did you expect me to raise the girls in that type of environment? This is not Dakwa's Batu. That's the bunch. Leave him out. All he did was help and cover your shame as you couldn't keep up with your responsibilities and you are here fighting with the bunch. Were you married to him or me? All Dakwa ever did was help us. The car under CRV you have had since we got married, the car that you've had since we got married and still have today was a brand new gift from Dakwa, from the bunch. The bunch paid several rents, so we did not live on the streets. So now it becomes, that's a lie. I paid it. Who's going to tell the truth? Who's going to tell us the truth? Okay? We're no longer talking about custody battles anymore right now. This is how messy it gets. There will be different layers of truth and lies and experiences, I called them earlier, right? Right? And it's hard to keep up. Everybody's just in the funk. And the worst part is that the children are in the mix. I started working for Mohits fresh out of college after working at Deloitte before I met you. And you are lying to your social media family that my mom made me quit my job. Wait. I started working for Mohits fresh out of college after working at Deloitte before I met you. And you are lying that social media family that my mom made me quit my job. You encouraged me to keep working for Mohits for our own benefits so we would not have to beg. I was abused for several years and run for my life. This has nothing to do with Dakpo, with the bunch. You're using him to chase clout like you have always done. Dotun, she's typing in all caps now. Dotun, you know where your children are. Stop misleading the public. Okay, there's a difference between he knows where the children are or you remove them and took them to somewhere else, like across state lines, where he was expecting to meet them somewhere else before and all that, right? And then it's now like, if I get to that new place, will I find them, right? There's that. She's not addressing all of that. What I'm telling you is that rightfully so. Because once you find yourself, okay, forget the word right. My bad. I'm so wrong with the whole word, the right word, okay? Not rightfully so, okay? More realistically so, right? She's not talking about the issues on ground, which is, how come I don't have access to my children? That's the reality. If you don't learn the skills of keeping your home together, Man and woman. If you don't learn the skills of maintaining how it started in the first place. I'm not talking about extreme situations. No, I'm talking about where the majority of the people are, in the middle. Like no one is really, no one has shot somebody's head off, and no one is just toxic. I'm talking about like we're just arguing, right? But we end up in divorce court. That's what I'm talking about. For the most part, that's what I'm talking about. The rest of it, you need to go and see a therapy. Mental health issues. Okay? She says, stop misliving the public. You know where your children are. That's different from, like, if my children are in the US right now, I know where they are. Do I have access to them? That's two different things. But anyway, let's continue. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just a loophole there that she hasn't addressed yet. Maybe she will address it. They are not with my brother or family, so stop deceiving everyone. It's obvious that you are not interested in seeing your daughters, but obsessed about the bunch and how to hurt him, which has been your goal from the very beginning. Every decision I've made was to protect the girls from your abuse. Protecting the girl from their father. Yes, emotionally, sexual abuse after you. That one's serious. Let me see. Did she say physical abuse? Psychological, emotional, and sexual abuse. She needs to talk to a therapy. That's all I'm going to say about that. It is obvious that you're not interested in seeing your daughters. Every decision I've made is to protect the girls from your abuse. I think you should let therapists make that decision. You should let therapists. You should let therapists make that decision. You shouldn't be making those decisions for your daughters. You're not even capable of making such decisions for your daughters. You let therapists and the authority make such decisions for your daughter. There's too many people running around the street just talking, and look at what's happening with Jada. We're supposed to just take it and just shove it in. Like, no, we need to know who is talking. Where are you talking from? What's your perspective? Where are you coming from? Right? The same thing we should have done with Dotun yesterday. Dotun, what's the rest of the story? You're not just innocent here. And you not being innocent doesn't mean you're abnormal. It's like the rest of us. We tend to tell stories from where it sounds like we're just perfect. And that's already unrealistic too. Right? But protecting those children from him, the authorities should do that, not you. Unless it's a temporary situation, but the marriage has been over. If it's like overnight, something just happened 2 days ago and you need to protect, I get that. But you've had moments to go through the court system and stuff like that, and you're still saying that, that's hard. That's very hard. Anyway, I was married to you, Dotun, and I know you too well to act a movie and play the victim. I think he was probably doing that. But again, most people kind of do that. Kind of like what she's doing right now. Okay. Always premeditating and calculating in everything. If you can bring a camera to pick up your kids, what would your next movie script be? Well, the point is that they're probably going to lie that it was destroying properties, but point taken. I won't be surprised if your next post is you are on a hospital bed acting and claiming you're almost... Yeah, you don't play with that. Claiming you're almost dead. You don't play with that. That does affect men. And they can commit the ultimate. Right? Yes, even when they were guilty. Yeah. Okay? So we don't play with that. We don't just play with, oh, you're going to act and you're going to be... Like, you don't play with his crying crocodile tears. Right? But guess what? People who have collected what they will do. Guess who have going through the court system. Guess what they will do? That's literally what they will do. They hit below, not the belt, below your groin. Right? And they use the worst. They might use your children. Okay? It's crazy. But this is how nasty it gets. What's the point I'm making here? If you've gotten the license already, you need to go back to school. Before you get the license, go to school. This is the one thing that can destroy you the most. Romantic relationships can destroy you the most. That same passion that you went into it with is how people fight. There's no fairness. Stop looking for fairness. It doesn't work. She said, I won't be subscribed. Okay. Your contention is with me, Taiwo, not Dakbo. That's the bunch again. Deal with the real issues, Dotun, and stop using other people to hide your narcissist, psychopathic, irrational behavior. Quit the pretense. Tell the world you know where your children are. There you have it. There you have it. Okay. I'm gonna go back to Jada. Trust me. I'm gonna go back to Jada. But there you have it. What's her handle? Let me see. She has Taiwo Yebanjo. So she has an Instagram handle. If you're already in the middle of it, it's not the end of the world. You simply take your butt to school. You learn how this works. There's something you don't know. If you're struggling, particularly if you're struggling, of course, right? Don't stop pointing fingers. Just stop. It doesn't mean you're not innocent. I know you want to be right. It's your right. They offended me. I get it. Okay? I can't discount your experience. You know? But yeah, she came out and she decided to post. Anyway, so that's that. Let me come to the chat really quickly. But Patrick said, Ola, you go take Woto for this matter. Let's be objective. We don't know the truth of the matter. No, tell me, sir. Feel free. Tell me which, as a matter of fact, let me drop the link. I'm open for it. I thought I gave some balanced views there. And I think I made that clear. We don't know. What I know is that when you end up in divorce or child custody battle, which is the point I'm making today, when you end up there, there's no fighting fair. It doesn't exist. That's the main point I'm making. So if you're already in that position where you have a urge to be right? You have an obsession that you must tell the whole world you're right, which is both of them now, right? You need to take your butt back to school. There's something you don't know, and you're going to hurt your children. You're going to hurt your children. It's just what it is. And you'll be doing it, it's a blind spot. I believe she believes what she's saying when she said, I'm protecting my children from him. No. The professionals should determine that. Okay? They should determine that. When it involves the children, the profession, you're not capable of determining that. You just collected from another person. Break fast. You dished it, you collected, is the same thing, ultimately. Right? But anyway, let's get back to Jada. I'm open to anybody's point of view on this one. We're going to talk about it more, but let me get back to Jada. But I saw that and I said, you know what? This is hot right now. Let's talk about it. I'll be right back. All right, let's get back to Jada. Feel free to use the link, I beg, anytime. But Chinya says your views were balanced. Thank you. I hope they were. But I'm always open just in case we need to do that, okay? Let's get back to Jada. Let's see.
Well, I just think, I don't think that a lot of us as women really get to share the depth of our journey because it's still pretty taboo. And I just felt like I've been through the gauntlet of people saying all kinds of stuff. The gauntlet of judgment and criticism. I mean, my skin is Teflon at this point. So I really felt like I could share my journey in a really honest way that I feel like so many people, not even just women, but so many people could feel seen in areas that they feel like they might have to hide or not talk about. So that's why I really wanted to write it. And that's why I have those guidance pages along the way. So I'm not just telling you my story, but I'm also telling you like how I got through certain challenging points in my life.
Right.
You know, and that hopefully for somebody who might feel like they're in a hopeless place, or they feel stuck, or they, you know, might be inspired by a new idea.
Right.
You know?
And, you know,
So I think that, again, I think that's a good thing that she has some kind of workbook thing going on there. But unfortunately, like I said, a lot of people judge by the cover, and they're only going in there to see what the tea is. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to do that, you know. So I don't know. She said, you know, a lot of women don't get to share. I think we should all be sharing, especially ladies. I think you should share, but I do think you should share within what's the word I'm looking for? You should only share within a controlled environment, right? Don't just jump out there. I'm sure she's done her work, hopefully, because she says she's giving people work to do in the book, right? And also, it's not. I still don't believe everything needs to be shared. I don't think so. It's not set up that way. We're not set up that way. Okay. There are people that hear the same thing from you. They hear something else. Right. You're trying to say your intentions are one thing, but they hear something else entirely. You're triggering something else entirely with them, right? So, for example, some people right now, what they heard is right. Everybody's journey is different. That's what they heard so far. And I'm hearing all angles. I'm hearing that she's doing the work. I'm hearing that she's trying to help people do the work. But I'm also hearing that people that will be interpreting this as a license to just destroy themselves, right? So the public persona, right? The public persona, the public sentiment, she shouldn't be I don't like it. I don't like it. Especially, they're trying to get a lot of attention around this, and they're pushing certain type of rhetoric. Hold on 1 second, I beg. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, what they're going to hear is what they wanted to hear already. Okay. So I don't think she's in that position to, I don't know, you know. So what would be interesting, let's say 6 months from now, after launching the book and everything, and there's a big old testimony of saying, oh, she was actually able to help people. Because the reality is that a lot of people are going through what she's going through. She just happened to be quite loud about it, right? Meaning, you come off as you don't care about your husband, but it's only him that can actually make that call. And again, if you don't know how to read between the lines, you're probably seeing Will Smith being emasculated. I don't see that. Okay? I don't see that. Right? But most people see that. Again, public sentiment, optics matter when it comes to power conversations. Optics, what the public see matters. And if the public is seeing one thing and then you're trying to paint a different picture, you're swimming against the trend and you're probably going to drown. Right? But it'll be interesting. Maybe 6 months from now, I'll be wrong. Right? So the book is a tell-all, precisely that. Okay. Adewale says she has over and overshared at this point. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Let's see. Let's continue.
No, and I have to say, for some of the most difficult and challenging parts of your life, what was it like to have to go back and revisit all of that?
It was hard.
It was hard, right? Because it was hard for me, so I can imagine how hard it was for you.
Yeah. I mean, even for us to sit down together and have to, like, you know, talk about some of our history together and really having to navigate. But the beautiful thing about it was, I was like, damn, we came a long way.
We did. Listen, we've been through some
stuff. Right? We've been through some stuff together, you know, on our own individual journeys. And I was like, yo. Right. So when I really looked at that part of it, I was like, wow. Because life is not about not going through stuff. Life is messy. You know what I mean? Life is challenging.
Right.
And this
There's no audio. Thank you. All right. This is what happens when you have a house full and you're trying to keep the audio clean. She's right. She's right about there's no such thing as just moving through life. Let's make sure we avoid problems in life. No, the only thing you should be learning, what you should be spending all your energy, majority of your energy, is learning how to mitigate risk, learning how to handle conflict. Okay? I know, said when I paused the video, I got it. All right, hold on one second. Let me just do this. Trying to get it quiet up here, and I don't want you guys to see my face yelling. Anyway, so she's right that there's a lot of people that just try to avoid life issues. There's life issues. It's a default. It's real life. And when you see how people react, people are reacting because they're disappointed. Disappointments come from unrealistic expectations because they set themselves up to fail by having such unrealistic expectations where life will just be perfect. Okay, that's where a whole industry of prayer points, okay, a whole industry of holy water, right, a whole industry of oloshos and stuff like that, like just underdeveloped society. That's where it comes from, because people have unrealistic expectations. So when they're disappointed, they flip all the way to the other end. They react, right? And then they're surprised, they're disappointed. Everybody reacting comes from disappointment for the most part, right? So she's right about that. Let's continue.
Idea that it's not supposed to be. This idea, even in my situation, like people feeling as though, my marriage has to hold up a certain idealism, or I have to hold up a certain idealism, that anybody can hold that up, is unrealistic, know? And we're all here to live life and to learn from one another. And that's just what it is. And life is crazy.
Right.
You know? And so
Nah, Jada, you're crazy. Let me see. All right, let me address Brother Patrick before we continue. No, she's crazy. She's right. Again, like a lot of things, they tell like truth, little truth here and there. Not little truth, actually, usually 80% truth, and there's a 20% that's just dangerous. Okay, you talk too much. Talk too much. That is a big deal. That is more destructive. That is more destructive, in my opinion, than just life not being perfect. Life not being perfect is just what it is. Right? Now, you can teach us, but you don't really have to, stop the idea of trying to destroy people's fantasy. That's literally what the manosphere try to do, which they are terrible at doing. Don't destroy people's fantasy. Fantasy is part of the human experience. Yeah? Anyway, I'll be right back. Then I'll bring Brother Patrick so we can talk. Brother Patrick, sir.
Hey, my brother.
Sure, okay.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you, sir? How's your weekend going?
Yeah, great.
Awesome. So I saw your comment. I said, let's talk. We have to talk. That's an opportunity to learn.
Ola, I just realized that for you to succeed in life,
right,
part of the skill you need is communication skill.
Yes.
Which you are doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
And when I try to come out, it's not as if I know more than any other person. But I'm just developing myself because I know where I'm going. Because I need to develop myself, my communication skills, so that when I'm talking, you can fast check. I'm not going to lie, but
Right.
Whatever I say, I've been there. So, like the case of Dapo.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really know the story, but I've been opportune to mitigate against in a situation like that. Especially when it comes to that. They can't salvage it any longer. You know, they are apart now, everybody's going their own way.
Yes.
You know, if they have the opportunity of salvaging it at that period, they can just be okay, let's be true to each other. But at this period, Ola, both of them are lying. They are trying to cover up their, say I'm the one, is the one that she did right bad. You are the one, your family did this. I've had that life experience. They have to talk to one and oh my God, you know what I mean? Who am I supposed to believe? So why I wrote that comment was the way you are analyzing it as if you are throwing that woman under the bus. He said that at that moment, I guess. Yeah, you didn't have opportunity. You had the opportunity to see your children, and Ola said, "Well, maybe you took the children to worship. You couldn't see them or something like that." Ola, let her talk. Right. I was analyzing that word for word. Yes. That's my method. Yes. And then at the end, I will now say, well, maybe she will still tell us. Yes. Right. Yeah. I knew it was something like that. I knew it was probably something like that. Yes. Both of them are, they're just trying to say, I'm right. He did that was bad. That was crying and so what? He cried. It doesn't mean he's Dotun, yes. Dotun was crying. Yes. You said it earlier on, but which is good that I don't believe this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't believe him, but I slowed down yesterday because the public sentiment was really starting to believe him. They even started justice for Dotun already. See all this online that doesn't know anything. Exactly. And me, I know that these issues is not about one person being right than the other person. They've shown each other shaggy. That's what's going on. It's so deep. It's going deep. Through that level. Divorce with children involved. It's Olana. Yes. People haven't gone that experience. They don't know what they're talking about. Yes. So if the guy is crying, it's normal. Men does that. The fact that I brought this to public, maybe he can't hold it any longer. He was losing it. He was crying. He was losing it. Yes. Daddy Free is always losing it too. I've not seen my kid for years. You know what I mean? Right. Even though he didn't cry, but that he's always talking about every day. So. Oh yeah, he talked about it one time like that. That he got to a point. He was like, he mentioned his first son's name. He said, I kind of miss he mentioned his name, and I was like, yeah. It's hard. It's very hard, Yeah, people are giving him what there in their comments. You are a stupid dad. That kind of what are you? You know what I mean? So he's just saying his own. If the wife should come and the ex should come out, maybe Abby, we use cutlass to cut this to buy this man that he frees. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna say that he frees. Yeah, I'm so sorry. No, we don't know what we don't know. Yeah. We don't know what, but we know some basic principles, which is what I'm spelling out. Yes. Which is both of you have shown each other shaggy. Yes, you tell me your story. Your story will obviously paint a picture that the person did you shaggy. The other person will tell you. And some people, the minority, there are some people that are just evil. Yeah. And I made that clear that I'm not talking about those of you that you ended up with an evil person. If you find yourself in that position, like Taiwo is painting that picture of sexual abuse. I said, you need to talk to therapists. Yeah. It shouldn't be you that will determine that you will protect the children from their father. Yeah. It's not now that's not fair now, right? Even though I said, let's be realistic. This is not going to be a fair fight. You need lots of patience because someone like Taiwo, who our experience says you did this to me, who am I to tell her that she's not being fair? Like the way I look at it, the way you are stopping it and talking is like somebody's talking. Keep quiet. Let me tell you what you're saying. Right. Because I take it layer by layer. Because each one of those small layers. I would suggest this. You would have done this. People say, okay, Allah is saying the fact. You are right, Allah. Right. Yeah. Popping in the middle and say, hey, what did you just say? Like, Allah I know. Let her talk, Allah. Let her finish. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yep.
The talking point is what my mission is to destroy. The talking points, they come in sentence by sentence. Sometimes depending on the story, sometimes I will finish it, and then I'll be like, okay, let me finish it first. If it's short enough, if it's long enough, then I'll do layer by layer, because usually when it's too long, like that one was long, it's probably shalaye as a package.
When I talk in this show, I write everything down before I talk.
Before you talk, which is good.
Yes.
That's good.
It down. At my level, that I've been cool at my graduate level. Like when you write projects and you want to nail it with an A with good proof. I have a professor, Ola. Turn in your project at 12 in midnight. That's the latest time. By 2 o'clock, this man has marked.
It's already graded.
I look at know your professor. People say, don't go to that man's class, and I can't drop. So this man expected higher,
Wait, so there's a site called Know Your Professor.
Why not?
I haven't gone to school since 2005. So
this is the worst class I've ever had in my life.
Ouch! So you go gauge yourself properly.
Don't register for this man's class. He's the worst professor. I said, when you turn in your paper at 10,
it's such a different world.
Yes, he has graded it. It doesn't matter how many papers, how many pages. Group projects in a graduate school. This man has graded it.
So he's probably scanned through it, and this one.
Man is good. For him, he doesn't sleep. That's his job. So he knows what he's doing. If you get an A in that man, you are good.
Right.
So if I write this man writes too much, but the way I've been taught, the way I've been school, so I'm just saying. So I take time to analyze. You are doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate you, sir. All feedbacks are welcome at any time. You can feel free, sir, anytime.
Yes.
Anytime. But me too. I always have a reason why I do my things. But I get feedback that I actually implement. And actually implement all of them, but it depends. Sometimes not so. Like I don't dismantle my methods, but I will implement it. Here and there. But I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Sir. All right, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we'll be right back so we can continue the Jada story. All right, back to the Jada story. Hello, Patricia. Patricia said, I also blame Will. It's allowed this entire situation for years, time and again. Maybe he's also part of the craziness. He's definitely part of the craziness. Absolutely. There's no question about that. Let's continue. But yeah, she said the world is crazy. It's like, you're taken out of context. No, you're crazy. Right? There's some things that we don't need to know, that you don't need to share. The reason why you're sharing it, because it's actually attached. It's a need. It's a dependency thing. Like you need to share it, and it's not just as simple as you sharing your truth. It's not just that simple. It's more complicated than that. There's some very impressionable mind listening to it, and they will go and move mad because they think everybody's journey is different. I'll just do me. No. The structure in developed societies, we want it to remain that way. We understand it's fluid by nature. I agree, but it's just too much. Okay, let's continue.
So I was just really thinking, when I got to the end of the book, I was like, wow.
But I've been how far?
And I'm just so grateful to have lived the life that I've lived. Right. And I felt like that about your mother too, about Marion, my grandmother. Like even talking about her history and then what she was able to make out of her life.
Right.
And that's the part for Willow. She called me the other day in tears, learning about Marion.
Now, again, she's right. right? She's right, but there's a big old but. No. She's trying to fit in too many contexts into like this small place, right? I do think you should be grateful about the journey. I think you should appreciate life as a journey. Okay? But that should always be done within a controlled environment. You can't throw things out into the air because it sounds like truth on the surface. And then, no, there are impressionable minds. One person is hearing one thing, the other one is hearing something else that can absolutely destroy them. What they just heard is that it's okay to move mad in life. As long as you get to 53 years of age and you say, well, it's been such a journey. No, they might not be so lucky. All right? They might not be that fortunate. We need structures. Right? We need structures. So no. We need to have some kind of structure in place. We can't just, right?
Right? And then learning about you, and then my connection to the two of you. And she was just like, oh my God. And she was like, I come from such a legacy of like powerful, complicated women.
Complicated
women.
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
Definitely.
So that would have been perfect for Willow, yourself, Mama Gamma to learn. Willow's children, right? To just throw this out into the public and make it, because when you are an influencer, right? They literally institutionalize your talking point. It becomes a whole religion. And there's more than enough people that will run with it and then turn it to, again, a religion. Right? So we gotta be careful. We need that, like everything she said is correct, but we need to add onto it within controlled environment. You should appreciate your journey. But when you mix in entanglement and August or October or all this like no, people, the public sentiment is that you're emasculating your man. And you're literally being rewarded for that. That's the public sentiment. Now, I'm not it's not enough for me to say I understand Jada. No, I'm just one person. I have to look at the public sentiment. Optics, what does it look like? It doesn't look good. And that has to be a part of how we move forward. They could have sold this book without bringing August again into it, without bringing Tupac Shakur into this story, right? They could have sold this book without telling us they've been lying for 7 years. That's you being rewarded for lying, part of the public sentiment. That's how I'm seeing this right now. I stand on everything I said before, which is, hey, that's their life. It is what it is, right? But at some point, right? At some point, we have to no, stop. Slow your roll. We don't care if Tupac has alopecia or not. That sounds like you're obsessed with Tupac as compared to Will. The public is taking that personally. That's the public. And we need to tell you because you are a powerful brand.
So Wanda says, you inspire me with your courage. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you, Wanda. I am doing...
Wanda. Excuse me. D, welcome. Truth tellers. Excuse me, hold on a second. Roro Afana, welcome. Yeah, she said Tupac has alopecia. That was a few hours ago. You've missed out. Anyway, let's continue.
Doing so good. You know, I've been carrying a lot for a long time. And
so let me interrupt you for a second. Was writing, I think people want to know too why you decided to write the book. Was that like a relief for you, like a release and an opportunity for you to take back your own narrative? Like what was your motivation?
Well, my motivation wasn't to really take back the narrative or set the story straight. I mean, you know, you guys say I like to sell a book, right? But really my purpose of writing the book was really about just me. I just remember being in some of the darkest places and just feeling like nobody saw me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is nothing more lonely than not having anybody around you that can relate or see you.
Right.
Oh God, is this why she said I haven't felt so good in a long okay, Will is trying his best to see you now. Okay, you guys have healed. You've passed all this stage. You're just selling a book now. The public, take it easy on the public. They're feeling for Will. It's just they're feeling for him. Like, take it easy. Roro said Wanda is capping. Jada expected the black sisterhood to support her, but she's getting blacklash instead. Now she's talking more. I think there's many people like Wanda out there. I think she's speaking the language of a lot of black women out there. You know, now I do see a lot of them do push back. I think it's 50-50 at this point from what I can see. She does have a lot of support. Yeah, I think it's 50-50 at this point. And I don't think we expected that. We never expected that. We expected like woke, leave your truth, power to the people, you know. But I think even women are like, I don't know, Jada, like, can you stop talking for a minute, right? Just for 1 second, right? Even during the slap, she didn't really talk, but she was blamed for the whole thing. Because the public sentiment is a powerful thing. They might not be able to put their fingers on it, but they know something is off, right? Because there's patterns. Like somebody said, we're not just snowflakes and everything is all unique. No, there are patterns. And the world, people can see things, they can see it, right? Wanda can be inspired by next year she will say the kids are Tupacs. Hey, somebody said next year she will say, oh, actually Will and I have never met. They're trolling her heavy. Patty says she lacks emotional intelligence. She's still dwelling on the past, immature. Elders don't spill all. No, we don't. No, I said we. I'm not an elder. I'm a young man. Stop the cap. No, like elders don't spill all. It's not correct. It's incorrect. That is incorrect. If you find that video, send it to me. Jonathan Goodluck. President Jonathan Goodluck. What are motivation for writing the book? Marriage is for mature people. Exactly. She needs to sell a book. And if she needs someone to hear her, she needs to talk to therapists. It's not necessary. Most black women are confused by all this shenanigans. I think confusion is a better word. They're like, can you stop talking for a second? Wait. I know I want to feel good about what you're saying, but stop. Soon she will add some crocodile tears to seek sympathy. Wahala. I actually believe her. I just don't think I think she lacks emotional intelligence. And maybe she's not capable at all. Maybe her trauma is that bad and this is her only out. I said that earlier on. Right? Maybe it's just that bad. But now we're talking about money. You just need to sell a book to feel better. You will never feel better. If what you need is money to feel better, on an absolute level, you probably will never feel better. Yeah. Let the poor breathe. Let the poor Breathe. Exactly.
Let be poor. Breathe.
Right. And or that even knows and understands. And I have to tell you how much I love you and I just have to apologize to you again for not even seeing some of these moments when you were in such a state of depression and me not even understanding that.
But I feel like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go in depth about mental health, my mental health specifically in the book.
Exactly, yours specifically.
I didn't understand.
Oh.
I was just like you guys. It was like, you have everything. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was like, Jada, you have everything. What is wrong with you?
Now, when it comes to mental health, that is a real thing. Gentlemen, listen to me carefully. When it comes to mental health, that is a real thing. A person who is just wondering what is wrong with them, just as much as you're wondering what is wrong with them, right? That is a real thing. Okay? But I'm almost stuck on, she needs to sell a book to get through that, I don't know. Patricia said, Wanda takes everything at face value. Wait, Wanda is going to collect in this room right now. She's been in therapy for a while. Right. Obviously, well, it's not that obvious, but they've always talked about, for a few years, both of them have always talked about therapy here, therapy there, But they're using all of this to sell the book. They're using the public trauma to sell the books. The public are traumatized. Okay? And they're using to sell the book. And that's one of the things that's making people question the authenticity. That's why she just got accused of crocodile tears, because the mother is crying right now, and her eyes are getting watery too, just them talking about it. And they're talking about real things that real people go through. Again, the issue here is one single thing. You talk too much. The red table talk was not necessary. Particularly the one with August Asina, including the one where they were not talking, where August was a guest on that red table talk. And I think one of them with Will Smith sitting there too. Abort mission, don't do that. Right? We don't need to see that. Not seeing that is part of the things that keep our society together. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We know it exists. We know crazy exists. You don't need to show us everything, because people will move mad in the other direction, right? It's never absolute. We need to kind of stay somewhere in between so we can create the balance, equilibrium, right? Right? And that's the reality. But we're in a woke world. Everybody just want to know everything on face value. Just tell us everything up front. Tell me before I can live this life. Tell me everything so I can know everything. You will never know everything. You're deceiving yourself. The more you know, the more incapable you are of appreciating the human experience. Should you know stuff? Yes. But even the scripture talks about modesty. You want to see now.
But I felt like, and not to make this about me, but I just feel so bad that I didn't see it. We all fell into that fantasy. That fantasy of just,
here we go,
for marriage, the family, the career.
We want to keep it that way. No. We need to keep it that way. There's a little fantasy, a little reality. That's what creates the human experience. You see how this lame behavior is happening on the extreme other end now, right? Right? The red pill want to open everybody's eyes. Red pill. You see everything, know it for what it is. That's not realistic. You hurt yourself. If you see everything, you will hurt yourself. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you really see the kind of battles you're actually fighting when you wake up every day, you won't want to wake up every day. That's the reality. But this whole thing is still beautiful because of the fantasy. And I'm talking to them in particular because they have an extreme story. I do tell you, let's be realistic here. The reality is that there's no fair fighting, okay? So manage your expectations. I don't tell you turn off your expectations. Why? Because that's unrealistic. You do have expectations. That's the reality. But I also don't tell you, just turn it off or don't have any expectation. That's unrealistic. We're human beings. We bought into an idea of a relationship. So we do have expectations. It's subconscious at a very large extent. All I can offer you is manage it. But to just turn it off so that everybody can stop fantasizing about you and Will's perfect relationship. No, you don't. You could simply just divorce. The whole world understand that people do divorce now. It's okay. Right? You could just do that without bringing the October story into it, without bringing Tupac Shakur into it, right? You don't have to bring all that into it because that's just all messy. Listen, you want the truth? Some of your great-grandfather and grandmothers slept with each other, slept with their siblings in the same household, did the worst. But imagine if I set up a whole channel around talking about stuff like that. That's toxic. Could make sense now. It's toxic. You don't have to tell us that before we know it exists. This idea of law, let's just tell all without telling all, so that no, we want the fantasy. That's what creates the human experience. That's the balance. It's called equilibrium, right?
Here, you having and everything, and I actually took a lot of the distance that was created because of me. I thought that you just didn't want to be around me.
Yeah, no, I was just in such a deep depression.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, which made it even worse. I felt so much shame and I was just lost because I felt inherently broken.
Yeah. And I think all of us that have read the book and of course had our individual conversations with you now, I'm talking about your family and friends, just almost feel like we failed you by not, because I feel like you didn't feel like you could share that with anybody, even though I hear you saying that you didn't understand it yourself. But the fact that you went through so much of this for so long by yourself without anybody really understanding what was going on.
Right.
Is this so long matter? Everything is so long. Listen, I feel for her. I feel for her. I believe her, but I also believe that it's just too much. It's just too much. Just too much.
It was really painful to hear.
Yeah.
I
get it.
So I hear somebody's spirits, right? And I was like, why are we making Jada the victim here? She ain't the victim. No. She's not the victim. Will is the victim. And then you think about it, no, it must be Jaden and Willow are the victims. I was like, those ones, no. Those ones are the one that led them down the path of hallucinogen. It can't be.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But it was, it was, we do the best we can do.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you're on the other side of it now.
Yes.
And I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like writing this book helped you with that.
It did.
It was part of your process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why, I feel like I think that the whole idea that, I think we all have to kind of let go of these expectations.
Say that again.
We don't do people. It's not kind. It's not loving. Even with just how people want to put other people on a pedestal.
Right. And I think you and Will tried to carry that for so long.
She's right, but wrong at the same time. Okay. How? How can she be right and be wrong at the same time?
Halfway.
I know. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. She's right about expectations, but again, like I said earlier, it's about managing expectations. The idea of letting go of expectations, that's not how it works. It's unrealistic. It's not real. It can't be. Right? It's impossible, right? But I do think we should manage our expectations around putting other people on a pedestal. Okay? That's true. So now, the question is Brother Ben going to now take that lesson? No, Brother Ben said, nope, I don't believe her one bit. Right? There's nothing that she's saying right now that needs to be believed. right? If she said Tupac Shakur had alopecia, you can say you believe that one or you don't believe that one. But I bet hear me out. Okay, hold on. Let me drop the right here. I dropped the link just in case you guys want to come up. If she's saying that, you can say I don't believe Tupac. Tupac was just a bald-headed man. He didn't have alopecia, even though some people say that's alopecia, right? You can say that to that. But if she's talking about how this whole thing is a process, right? And this whole thing is keeping her together and we don't know how much pain she's going through inside, that's not something we get to believe. That's just the reality of mental health issues, right? We all admit that this is not our normal situation. Like, this is not our normal story. We all admit that we're all disappointed in this perfect picture of Will Smith and Jada. I've never followed them in that way. But obviously because of these stories, I love, like I don't follow Denzel. I love Denzel Washington in movies. I love Denzel in movies. I've never really followed his personal life, just like the rest of them, In fact, recently I just found out that he has a son, and like, oh, he has a son in the industry. Cool, So this is the problems with these reality TV shows. All these superstars, your heroes, you're coming to do reality stuff. You find out the other side of them and you're disappointed. And now they can't tell us anything because your life does not reflect what you're trying to tell us, right? But that's judgmental, and she's right about that. It's putting these people on a pedestal, and they will always fall off that pedestal because there's no perfect human being anywhere. Chinye said, I believe that she's been through a lot of trauma and pain. That's a fact, as a matter of fact. If people just don't wake up and do what she's doing, like, there's no smoke without fire, right? There are deeply rooted issues there. That's deeply rooted issues there. That's just the fact, right? And she's saying it. Outside of the fact that she's saying it, that's whenever you see people act completely like all the way to the left, it's not coming out of nowhere. Right? You say, who hurt you? And they say, nobody hurt me. I can't just speak. It's a lie. Somebody has hurt them. It's a lie. Okay? Yeah, depression. Let's continue.
Because that's what was expected of you. People had this vision in their mind, this idea in their minds of who you were as a couple, the family, and all of that. And you guys just tried to live up to it.
Well, we thought that's what we were supposed to do until we got mature and got our asses in some therapy and realized,
there you have it.
That's just not a realistic thing to do. Yeah. And there's so much.
So they were trying to live up to it too, right? So it's a two-way street too, right? When you don't manage these expectations, then you try to live up to it, right? And at some point you have to no, I'm not capable. I don't have it. I don't have what I'm trying to give, right? But I still don't want her to. Then she shouldn't be giving us the August story either. If you can't give, right? That's just personal. I'm just talking about personal stuff, right? The August one is annoying to me. I don't want to hear that part of the story at all.
It's love,
even though I'm repeating it.
Between us. And somebody asked if there's an opportunity of Will and I to get back together.
What do you guys think about this question before I play? Somebody's asking her if there's an opportunity for her and Will to get back together. What would be your answer to that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm waiting in the chat. Come to the chat really quickly. What do you think the chances are that they will come back together? Somebody's answering the question on YouTube. So can a nice person be a teacher? I said, what a question. That's the answer. What a question. Can a nice person be a cheater? Even the question made me laugh, even though we already talked about it, right? Anyway, do you think Will Smith and Jada, do you think there's a chance they'll get back together? Do you want them to get back together? Do you even believe the story? They're just trying to sell a book, right? If you think there's a chance for them to get back together, put a 1. If you think that these ones are mad, we don't know what they're doing, put a 2. Right? Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Sorry. Okay. Chia said that August story is cringy. Yeah, I don't want to hear that stuff. Nah, I don't think so. Not that it's impossible. Yeah. D-Loss is still confused. So confused, I don't care. If they get back together or not, their matter don't tire me. This matter is like matter of I'm trying to think of, there's another matter that tired D-Love did. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. That's just like that. I don't care. Let's say let's hope not. Let's hope not. Okay. Two said these ones are mad and confused. That's two, right? Is that what she said? Bear says no going back. Let her go sort our brain out. Now here's my opinion. Okay, here's my opinion. Before they say it, it will honestly. I've already heard this part, but my opinion is that whatever they're doing, right? Anybody who try to marry any of these two people, any of the two of them, right? Anybody who try to marry any of the two people will collect.
Sorry.
I don't think it will work. Okay. I think we're stuck on the idea that a family has to be sexual in nature. I think we're stuck on that. Don't forget that they're not divorced on paper, right? But they've been playing family, and they continue to play family, and they seem very comfortable playing family. Okay. Now, Will to a lot of people seems uncomfortable because they're trying to see like he's emasculated inside his face. People are trying to do that. There's a picture of her sitting like that, says she's masculine, and Will is trying to lean in, and everybody's trying to make jokes out of that. I get that. The cruise is fun, and it's funny. Okay. But I think these two have figured something out, right? Old age, as they get older, they might decide to, we're stuck. Not stuck, but we're here. That's probably what's going to happen, okay? This book she's selling, don't forget that Will is behind it. Everything she does, production-wise, don't forget that Will is behind it, right? Does that change the fact that they're separated? No. Again, we're still stuck on we think once we stop doing Kiriwa, gentlemen, once you stop doing Kiriwa, your brain just cut off. You can't think that this is still your family, right? And that's a problem, right? And the reality is that that's our reality. It's just that some people are fast to go to the court and pull the trigger, right? Many people that go through divorce, they will never remarry again. Many, okay? Many of them. Right? Does that mean they stay together? No, they don't stay together, but they resent each other because, again, one of the things is sex, right? And it doesn't have to be that way. Now, a lot of people regard that as perversion of what we know as normal. Like, why are you perverting what we know as normal? I get that too, you know. But like I said here some few days ago, there's all kind of alternative lifestyles out there. Just get used to it, okay? Get used to it. I do agree that we need to slow down so that we don't destroy ourselves, because we need to not just move mad, but do things within controlled environments, right? But there are alternative lifestyles out there. Okay, they have communities. Go on Reddit. Anything your mind can conceive, go and search for it on Reddit. Okay. There are women who are polygamists, who have multiple husbands. Have I shown you that here before? Like, these people, why are they doing this to us? They exist. Okay, they've always existed. It's just that social media is bringing things out and they are influencing more people, right? Yes, influence is a real thing. Let's not get that twisted in any of the lifestyles, okay? But yes, let me see here. Patricia said, well, they are still together. Weirdos too. Ouch. That part, right? The question is in Auckland, are they going to get back together? They're together. They just don't have sex. They live in two different houses, I guess. They're together, literally. But they're not together in the way our brain normally calculates what that means, right? And I agree with the word weirdos. I agree with that 100%. But bears up with two. This mad ones. Oh god. Hold on. I see you, bro. Let me play 2 minutes. I'll be right with you. Let's see.
I'm trying to look.
Let's see the answer. No. Before I get our answer, let me get Brother Ben's answer. Brother Ben, you did it?
Hey, Mr.
Alpha, how you doing now?
I did, my brother. How your side, bro?
I do. We did here. This matter, I see, is dear to your heart too.
No, I don't really even care about the matter because since I've heard that they were separated for over 7 years and they are just keeping a face, I'm no longer interested in it. The whole thing is just bull crap as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, you're disappointed too, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's be honest, Mr. Ola. And probably this is why I always consider myself a traditional man, because there's a lot of BS here in the Western world.
Right.
That if you have to go with it, if you have to just say, okay, this is what everybody is doing, let me go with their narrative, their way of life, you probably miss your own way too. So that's why I really don't want to like buy into most of their BS. Yeah, as far as this Will and Jada issue is concerned.
No, before you give your overall answer this question, do you think they'll get back together?
For what?
They'll get back together. Just get back together as husband and wife, where they said they're living in one house again.
There is no going back in this, unless if Will Smith, maybe they have put him in a bottle. If he's not in a bottle, there's no going back in situations like this. You know, let's just be honest.
Wait, are you saying people don't separate and come back together?
Not with this kind of toxic woman, my brother.
Can you give me one reason why there are many things, right? Obviously there's many parts of the story, but what's the one thing to you that makes her toxic?
Who sleep with her son's friend?
Oh, that part. Okay, all right. I just want to hear you say.
What are you saying, bro? Let's be honest.
I want to hear you say it now. Yeah, so it's the August factor for you.
That is like, there's just so many things. There are so many factors here. The number one thing for me it's a no is you sleeping with your son's friend. That's number one. Then we understand that, okay, this is America, and you know, like Asake's son, lonely at the top. Sometimes when you are rich and you are at the top there, you are lonely. People don't see it, you know. It's even happening to some of us right now. When you attain certain level, some of your friends will run away from you. It's not as if you are a bad person, but it's just like the position you are now is way at the top there. So many of these rich people, they are living in depression. A lot of them are lonely.
Yes,
you know,
that's a fact actually.
When you add that to the nature of their job,
remember the great Robin Williams?
Yeah, go on.
I said, you remember? Do you know who Robin Williams was? Robin Williams.
I can't remember at the top of my head right now.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I was supporting your point that these people struggle a lot with depression and stuff. Before you give your overall, let me play our answer right to that question, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see.
Will and we're family, and I know that we've talked about, you know, with the Today Show was like this big separation, and we had been separated, you know, and you guys didn't know it because we didn't feel like it was something to share because we were trying to figure out what that meant. Right. And then, you know, different things has transpired over the last 2 years, and Will and I have been doing a lot of healing together, and you know, have made our way back to this interdependence, and, you know, this beautiful loving space between us. And so there's a lot of things.
Family.
And we're still family.
And that's it.
And we're family, and we're figuring it out. And it's a beautiful figuring it out.
Right.
It's been beautiful. So got a lot of love.
What was
hold on.
the hardest chapter?
All right, let's leave it there for a second. All right. So what do you think now? Hold on. Let me see what Dilo said. Dilo said, MOP, here's my confusion. Number one, I feel it's their life and they owe us no explanation. Exactly. Right. She just said she thought they were trying to figure something out. But then she's sharing August with. But anyway. And number two, waiting be this. Number two is waiting be this or like this. How are you playing out since 2016? Damn. Every time they bring in August, it just pinches me. Open relation. August Asina, they've always denied. She still denies the open relationship stuff. By the way, she said, "Oh my, tire me." Go ahead, brother Ben. Let me hear your take now, Jerry.
Okay. Let me quickly point something out here, Mr. Ola.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I think she is kind of shocked ever since she granted that interview where she said they were separated for 7 years, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was not getting the expectations she was expecting from the public. Probably she was thinking by the time she come out, the entire black sisterhood will be behind her and say, "Yes, Jada, yes, you are."
Wait, just because of the separation?
Yeah. No, just I don't know if you're getting what I'm pointing.
I get what you're saying. I know what you mean.
You know how it goes here in America, right? When a woman comes out and say, "I suffer this, I suffer that, I go through this," every woman will be, "Yes, it's painful."
That was Wanda now earlier. That was what Wanda was then earlier.
Yeah. So that was it. But now, even me personally, I was shocked that the entire sisterhood are against her. Like, come on, cut this crap.
Cut it out.
That's what she's trying to do now. This is what they call spin in political statements.
She's spinning the story, huh?
Yeah, she's spinning now. You can imagine. I've always had this problem with some of these women that say they have issue with their husband. Here's my thing. You can't be with a man for certain period of years, for 5-10 years plus. You have kids with this man, and then all of a sudden, because things are not okay between you anymore, you are only focusing on what is bad about him and not the good times you spent together. So in her own matter now, all the interviews she granted, whatever she's spinning up and down, there is not even one single praise for Will Smith. This is the first time, in fact, it's on this your show now, that I'm hearing her saying, we've been doing so much healing, we have come to a place. She should just
right. They are now interdependent. Wait, let me play a little small for you now. I'm gonna play something small for you, right? So you can continue.
There, for you to write. Somebody is asking.
Oh, the hardest chapter for me to write.
There were so many.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
There was a lot that was
hardest
difficult.
Chapter for me to write. Maybe the stuff about Pac. Unmourned loss, I would say, was the hardest chapter. Unmourned loss. And that was a chapter full of a string of losses that I had at one time, including losing Pac. So that was a really hard one.
So
all right, let me hear you now, bro. I
lie. If I buy this book, make I bend. Make I bend if I buy this book, brother.
That's funny. You bend. Why? Because of the Pac part. So the second most annoying part for you, I'm guessing, is anything that has to do with Pac.
What are we saying, brother? Imagine. How can is it not only a woman that there is cologne in her head? We still fall in love with somebody you were not married to. You didn't say you were dating. This person, God bless his memory, he has gone for 25 years now. And all you talk about is him. Pac. Something is wrong with this lady. Let's just call it what it is. And that's why I'm giving Will Smith a lot of credit here. Will Smith deal with so much rubbish, condoning this nonsense. I think Will Smith just want to be that exceptional black man who wanted a family so bad that even while he saw all these red flags all over the place, he just feel like we can make it work. That's just the way I see it. No, but who will deal with this kind of nonsense?
Wait, Brother Pen. Is that such a bad thing that a man is like, I got this. I'll take care of other needs that I might have. I got this. Is that such a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, but there are limits to everything. Don't you see the level of manipulation and controlling this woman might have done in that family already? We are men, Mr. Ola. There are two types of men. Mm-hmm. There are some men who will come out there and start yapping, talking, saying whatever is going on within their home. And there are some men that will bottle it all in. Mm-hmm. They will just kind of, I think even Will was even doing her a favor by agreeing that let us separate and be on our way, but not even divorce. Because the only thing I have against Will Smith is this. If it turns out that Will actually did something terrible, that she's covering up for him or probably blackmailing him, then I would say serve him right. But if you take that out of the equation, and we just have to go by this narrative, shit. Brother, you go stay with this kind of person. Maybe they talk to her beg. Go stay with this kind of person.
You don't know, I don't know. You don't know, and I don't know.
Me, I will stay. Yes, me, I will stay.
I can't take that away from you now, you know. But I have answers now. I can't take that away from you. But the reality is that I don't know. I know I don't know, right? Because again, look at the person you're looking at them on the screen. By the way, that's Tupac and Jada from back in the days. Okay, so
this guy just go marry street woman, Gary.
They had full head of hair here at least, right? The reality is that the answer is what Brother Patrick is giving. In fact, that's half the answer. The answer is that they're together. Okay, the answer is they're together. They're still trying to figure things out. What they should have never done. The part that I hate the most about all of this is the August part, right? The Tupac. If you read, did you get a chance to read Will Smith book?
I haven't read this book.
Okay, so there's a whole segment in it about Tupac, right? And now he was actually jealous of the type of relationship that she had with Tupac in terms of how genuine blah 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 it was. You see what I'm saying? So, but one thing that's clear that the public is not willing to hear. The public, including you, obviously. Because you notice I'm talking about the public sentiment. The public sentiment is very clear to me, and I think the public sentiment is very powerful. Okay, is that this was not a romantic relationship, right? Now the public believed that it doesn't matter. She wanted him. It was just Pac that didn't want him. But then there's another post that came out yesterday that Tupac actually proposed to her while he was in jail, while he was in, I think, Rikers Island.
Mr. Ola, don't make me laugh.
Wait now. You don't believe now. Of course, the public will not believe that. You know, for me personally, it's obsession. It's unnecessary obsession, right? And if the public is already perceiving a man who has passed away 25 years ago as competing with your present husband, ladies, at some point you gotta stop talking about this dude. Like, stop. Because there's nothing wrong. It was just innocent. No, shut up. Sometimes just shut up. Like, some things you don't need to say. There's so many things about all of our lives that we will never say. We will take it to the grave, and it should remain that way.
Yes.
This idea that we are all woke and people should just speak anyhow as long as it's the truth, I am actively pushing against that.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Ola. If I can just say one thing here, my brother.
Yeah.
You see, the statement you just made right now about people being woke and accepting every nonsense is the reason why I've had my YouTube channel for a while and I was just stuck. I just decided that, look, my person, I'm not the type who see black and call it white.
I see.
You feel me now?
You want to call it out as you see it.
Exactly.
Ah,
and I'm not the
dangerous.
type, and I'm not the type who want to tell you what you want to hear just because it will suit you, it will keep you coming back. Now, this is the problem we are facing right now. A lot of people are kind of delusional. I don't want to use that term, but that's just like the way it is now. Everybody just want to hear what appeals them, what suits them. They don't want you to tell them, hey, look, I think this path you are going, it won't lead anywhere. Why don't you do it this way? You become the enemy. So they want you to like bottle it up. Don't say it. Just tell us what is reigning right now. The narrative everybody is going with, just go with it. You know? And that is why when you see people who have channels like this yours now, where you preach the real thing every day, it takes a while before people start falling in, subscribing and following massively. But if you have been here now and saying things that they want to hear, this channel go don't reach 100 cases. Sure you feel me?
Yeah, so I agree with you.
Coming to this Tupac situation now, thank God you are more experienced when it comes to this relationship issue. This Jada talking about Tupac is just like a man who married to a woman, and after the marriage, the wife keep making reference to her ex. That's just the way it is right now.
Well, why are you so insecure? It's like, why are you so insecure? Like, insecure. Yeah, exactly. I'm insecure. Stop talking about that.
You see, then for a man, because sometimes I tell single women, you guys think you know men. You really don't know men. You don't know how men brain works. You just think based on what everybody is telling you, your pastor, relationship counselor, TikTok advisors, what they are telling you, you think you know men. Men different from one to the other. No, the moment you start talking about your ex, indirectly you are telling the man that you are not man enough. Yeah, that's what it means. Absolutely. Depending on the circumstances for which you are discussing your ex. So if you are always detecting,
and it's like you're intentionally provoking his insecurity to surface.
Exactly,
he will be insecure. That's precisely what's going to happen.
Exactly. So why are you with me if you are if you want to be talking to your ex? If you are still in love with Tupac, what are you doing here? Why don't you cross over to the other side so that you guys can go and marry and continue your love?
So at this moment right now, but Ben, I can hear their spirits now. They're asking the question.
Oh, beauty.
They're saying, what about they're saying, what about when men also talk about their exes too? Is that acceptable?
It's the same thing. It is dead wrong.
It's wrong.
My principle is simple, Mr. Ola. When you are married, focus on the person in front of you. That's my principle.
What will make them not focus on the person in front of them?
I think maybe on a part of a man, it means maybe the man is not matured enough. Maybe he shouldn't be married in the first place. That's just my own take on it. How could you be married to a woman and now all you want to do is you have a woman right there in front of you, easy access. Now you want to be chasing somebody all around, all over the place. You have a woman in front of you, a woman that is willing to do everything for you, take care of you, take care of your kid, take care of the house, build with you. And you, whatever she's doing, you don't see her. All you are seeing is these women outside, the one on TikTok, the one on, come on now.
But Ben, let's stop the cap for a second. Wait.
Okay, you call it cap.
Stop the cap.
they look something for TikTok. They slow down, like scroll back down a little bit. Like if you did on TikTok, you did just swap. You just swap go. If you see, when Tunde Ednot, when he does like African is African is great. He does like this thing where it says Africa is great or something like that. There's certain things that it shows. They swipe back and say, let me look twice, let me swipe. They look they look at all.
Look, Mr. Ola, as a man, we all do that.
If your wife they sit like this, they look like she's sitting, but let's make sure she's on. They do that, all.
No, Mr. Ola, we all do that. It's like maybe you don't get me. We all do that.
Okay, all right.
No man is a saint.
I just want to make sure.
All I'm saying is, you don't do some stuff and then you bring it to your wife's space. You bring it to her space. You make her feel less of a woman. That's just what I'm saying.
I agree 100% with you, of course. I agree with you.
Men will always be men. But whatever you do, just keep that nonsense far away.
You're talking about the respect, like respect yourself, respect your relationship, respect yourself. Is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree with you 100%, of course. Yeah. Hold on, let me play small a little bit and then we'll continue. Hold on.
Olivia also wants to know why now? Why now for the book?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be now. I decided December 2021, and then the publishing company decided that it should come out now. But why now? December of 2021. I just felt like, I wanted to tell my journey in a way that a lot of women don't feel as though they can.
Yeah.
So let's see.
What else you got over there, Carlos?
Now, y'all.
Let's get one more
when
question.
When are we getting back to the red table?
Oh, okay. We're supposed to.
Oh, not the red table.
Sarah.
That red table should be shut down for life. But anyway, yeah, not the red table. That red table is stained. It's bloody.
Don't go to that red table.
that red is literally bloody. Let Will breathe. Let him breathe.
Let be poor. Breathe.
Let him breathe. There's only so much a man can take. As Patrick said earlier, that Ben has sacrificed, has made a lot of sacrifices. Ben, you're right. We don't know what kind of sacrifice she's made. I do know that a lot of our talking point, a lot of women feel that way. The reason why a lot of men cannot connect with her right now is because of it's precisely she talks too much. In fact, there's a lot of women that have made the mistake she's made, including the August situation. Yes, including even young, you shouldn't be seen with this. How many times do we see stories about? It's not normal. I'm not normalizing it by any stretch. I'm just saying, if that happens to you, you go to jail or shut up. If you're not caught, shut up. We don't want to hear you come and normalize it in public. How many times do we hear teachers sleeping with their students in high school? That story breaks every time. I think there was a recent one from 2 weeks ago too. A lady that was being paraded, that she was arrested at the school. Right? We don't jump out here and start normalizing that like that was something normal. Like if something crazy like that happened because you lost yourself, please don't write a book about it, because you might be when you wrap it up within all kind of mental health conversations like speak your truth, women don't get to speak. Impressionable mind might think that's normal. We can start doing that. No, we can't start doing that. No, it's not normal. We call it not normal because most people will not do that. And there's an active attempt to normalize things that we used to frown at, So it's not proper. Let me see.
The process. So he prepared me for.
All right, this part.
Hangover. Just the thought of going through all of that and what's coming afterwards.
Yeah, it's like I had
Let's listen to this part. It's very important.
Big time, and I'm still in the process of centering myself. It's difficult to share your journey in this way, but I'm so, I feel so blessed to have my family, my kids, to have Will. Will has been by my side to this journey, and really holding me down. So it's been beautiful because he did the process. So he prepared me for what was to come. Like, he's like, you're gonna come across some stuff and it's gonna be really hard. Be gentle if you gotta, take some days off and not write, So he really helped me along the way on the process.
Yeah. Madison wants to.
All right, what do you think about that, bro? Ben, are you still there?
Hola.
Yeah.
Maybe you could help me break it down because my ears is blind or is deaf to whatever she's saying.
She said will. she said Will has been there for her, prepared her for this journey. That Will put all of this together. He's gone through it before, and he prepared and said, "You're going to see some things. Be patient." All that. What are your thoughts around that?
Where is Will on the video with her? How many of the tour has Will back on with her? She's just capping, Mr. Ola. Let's call it what it is. She's just pinning whatever will make her look good now. She's bringing Will into the picture now because she has seen that if she go alone, if she go ahead all by her own, she's gonna fail. She's
really?
Yes, we are here. We know how these people play their game here. Somebody probably tell her that, hey, the first interview or the first interview you have out there, we destroy everything. No, it's like people are aligning with Wills more than whatever you are telling them. That's why she do this crocodile live show or whatever now, trying to fix it. I don't believe her. Like I told you in my comment, Mr. Ola, I don't believe anything coming out of her mouth.
Okay, you know me, I have receipts. Yeah? Let me play this video for you. This was them receiving the first package of the book at home.
All right, you guys. This is the first time I'm going to see the book. We're all together. I have not seen the book yet. We just got the first.
Is that Will Smith behind?
Yes.
Okay.
This was 2 weeks ago. You know, as Ondo men, we don't believe these things can happen. I'm with you. Right? Listen, as Ondo men, I'm with you, bro. You know? Right? We don't, like, these things are unreal. Like, you know, like
this guy they inside bottle.
He dey inside bottle.
Will and I are in bed in a rented villa in Cobble San Lucas. It's late summer 1997.
Now, I think I will go with what I've been suspecting all this while.
What is that?
Will Smith did something nasty. He did something.
He's afraid
really
of something.
bad. Yes, he's so afraid of it that he don't want it to come out. That's the only explanation I can give as an African man. No. Maybe it's normal to him, but I don't think this is the behavior of a normal man. No.
Right.
That's just my take.
I hear you. This one, why is this one here on my page? Let me go back to that one, Jerry. Anyway, so let's talk about this one here because again, like I said, as Ondo man, you know, I believe I feel you. I feel what you're saying when you say you don't see the possibility of this, right? But when they bring in the word family, right, that means a lot in real life, right? Now, they could have done it in the way that they divorced actually 7 years ago. I think the whole world would be happier. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely agree.
If they were, now let me add another layer to it. I don't know if you saw our story about Dotu and Taiwo earlier. They're dragging each other on the internet, right? If Will and Jada divorced 7 years ago, and they're still going through, and they went through a 2 years of divorce battle, I think the whole world will be happier. Do you agree?
I agree, absolutely.
Right, and I think it's a strange thing to us that two people are not sexually together, and they're not butting heads in public. I think that's strange to all of us.
Yeah, they are active film. This one look like Asaba.
The active film.
Yeah, so like my sister B say, this one is Asaba movie.
Asaba movie. What's in Asaba movie? Asaba people do movies.
Asaba movie for Nigeria.
Is it the same one as Enugu? Is it the same one as Enugu, right?
Low grade movie. That's
low grade. Okay. It's fake. As in fake movies. I see. Baroof. I see. But yeah, I think, in my opinion, and I'm very aware that this is not the public sentiment, and I think what they have is a unicorn, right? In both negative and positive ways. Okay. Yeah. Negative in terms of the fact that a Will can sit at that red table knowing fully well already he's dealt with the August situation already before they sat down. knowing fully well, knowing that there are angle of his face that's going to be captured as a weak man. He knew that. He's an actor, right? He's a creative, so he knew people would do that, right? And he still sat down and supported his family in that way. I think the August situation is a negative thing, but I think them flipping it to that, and then now they're over flipping it to money. I think that's the part I don't appreciate. But I think they have a unicorn of a situation, and I think they are together. Just maybe not necessarily sexually, and there's a good chance they might get back together in that way. And if they had divorced on paper, it's over now. But what are they doing there? Not divorced on paper. Still, their life are intertwined together. And she made a point that they've been going through some journey in 2 years, right? And she actually said she was surprised that Will called her a wife on that stage. That Will
is drama.
She said Will had not called her a wife in a long time. Right? So if they come out tomorrow, let's say in 2 months' time, and they say they're releasing another book next year, and they say, you know what? I have a secret. I'm doing a tell-all now for the first time. I have a secret against Will. We'll be here. We'll discuss it at that time. But I think all the gestures I'm seeing on here, they're all genuine. I think they've walked through everything we're dealing with now as public. I think they've walked through it, personally. I think they're just about to sell books and make some millions of dollars, though.
For me, Mr. Ola, you are laughing already.
No, I'm being real, though. I'm for real, though.
I don't think I'm seeing what you are seeing, Mr. Ola.
I understand.
What I'm seeing here is either this man is being blackmailed for the nonsense thing he did. You know, this is abroad now. People, they do something. I don't want to mention around your channel. People, they do some nonsense thing. If he be say this man don't do that rubbish, the woman don't they use him against him. All I see here is a bunch of crap, my brother.
Okay.
Man, black man for that matter. If you talk Oyinbo fit do this kind of nonsense. If Oyinbo go, they carry bag. As she dey waka go Oyinbo, now Oyinbo go, they carry the bag, they follow her. But black man don't take this kind of nonsense. May we talk where matter day, my brother. This one is too much. A black man, person sleep with your son pikin, your son friend, he sleep with him. Come on now, come on.
So it doesn't matter that they were separated at the time. To you, it wouldn't matter. Oh no, man.
If they are separated,
they were separated at the time, according to them now.
So then that now make her to stoop so low.
No. What I'm saying is that he's stooping low. I agree that he's stooping low. Remember, that's the part that is actually painful for me, right? But it wasn't cheating on paper. It's not cheating. It's not considered cheating.
No. It's not cheating.
Right. So what I'm saying, I'm asking you, like, it doesn't matter to you that they were separated. That's just nasty. And the only way this man can get back with this woman is if he's inside a bottle.
Yes. See, bro, you've already stated everything, and that's why I love your show. You used to say it the way it is. One thing we've observed over and over again in this Western world is that when people do silly things, especially all these celebrity, they come out and then they flip it around, make it look like, this is the new normal. And then the next thing you see, every other people, those who don't have brain, they want to do the same. That is how we all end up where we are now. And you said it already. She want to sell that narrative that, I sleep with my son's friend. It's not a big deal. Will is aware about it, blah, 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 blah.
She said there's more details to that is inside the book. Wait, let me play a little bit, then we'll continue. Hold on. Let me play a little bit.
Now, are you feeling a sense of relief getting this out into the world? Like you're getting something off your chest?
You know what? I am. I am feeling a sense of relief. I wasn't expecting that, you know what I mean? But I am in a certain manner. I feel like a lot of assumptions have been made about me.
Absolutely.
You know, and I get it. I mean, I've helped with some of those assumptions along with, you know, what happened at the red.
I think she's gaslighting us. I think she's gaslighting us. Wait. There was no assumption. There's no assumption. This August is a real story. She said that, right? There's no assumption here, right? Okay, some people are going to the extreme of calling her Jezebel. Okay, I think that's going to the extreme of lameness now. Because we don't want to know what we know exists. We just don't want to know. I agree. We don't want to know what we know already exists, right? But I think she's gaslighting us that they're making assumptions. What assumption? Let's see if she will tell us.
The table, and I know there's still a lot of confusion around that. You really got to get the book to kind of understand, because it's complicated. It's a very that's a complicated moment, as complicated as.
It was so long, as complicated as long, right? What is she talking about? Jesus. I agree with MOP. They're over it. They're back together. Yeah, I think they're doing life together. I don't know necessarily the sex thing, but I think we're stuck on the idea that it has to be sex. After he slapped Chris, she probably thought, wow, that's what Tupac would do. And she fell in love.
This comment na blow.
Sofini. She said, I didn't even know that's how they spell Sofini. I just know I hear people say Sofini. I was like, oh, wait, I think she's saying Sofini.
Bro, this comment section is on fire.
Bella, please, I will read the book. Actually, because I read Will Smith. It just makes sense to read the book, and I really enjoyed Will Smith's book, and everything he said in the book makes sense in the book. There's a lot of things that he said that made sense in the book, and his experience and what he's going through, and the fact that he's capable of going through what Brother Ben thinks is impossible. I think it makes sense because I've read the book. It takes a certain type of man. Takes a certain type of man. You see, when you leave a Jada, right? The only reason why you leave a Jada with all the experience if you were a Will Smith and you leave Jada, you will be leaving Jada because a part of your brain still concludes that there's something better than Jada out there. That's the only reason, right? Why you will leave Jada.
Really?
Yes. A part of your brain is saying there's something better than Jada out there.
Of course, there is something better than her out there, Mr. Ola.
Wait now. So it now depends on what metrics you're using. You see, when you say this thing is better than this thing, in terms of standards, right? I'm going to ask you, what metrics are you using, right? If we want to bring it down to a science, we want to know how you're measuring better. Better in what respect? In what, you know what I'm saying? And if we're not patient enough to do that, which we're not, we're being human beings, right? Don't tell me anything. Of course, there's something better than Jada out there. Are you whining me? It makes sense to me, okay? But when you read Will Smith's book, right, it will make sense to you why he will conclude that he's prepared. Remember what she said? He prepared her for this moment. He's prepared. Right? With that being said, we're still human beings because he probably thought he was prepared when he went on that stage and slapped the nonsense out of that man, right? We found out a few days ago, right, that man had attempted to toast his wife at some point. And when you bottle all that up together, speaking of bottling things together, right, right, it can blow up at any point in time. So nobody should be acting like they're macho. They need to make sure that they're actually macho to be able to handle that, right? But the reality is that too many people are moving mad in terms of thinking there's something better than what they have. That's the reality. Now, I get it. When I flash the picture of August in your face, it's like, no. Don't tell me nothing, right? It makes sense. But when you read that book, it makes sense. Now, in terms of our book, somebody said, I could hear somebody's spirit right now. He said, did they pay you to promote this woman's book? No. This book is going to blow. Either you like it or not, Sha. This book is going to blow now. I mean, have you ever heard any story like this before? Exactly. And you've never seen a couple like this ever before too, But we'll see. What's your take on what I just said? I want to hear that point you were trying to make.
Give me just 1 minute. I'll be back, Mr. Ola. Just 1 minute.
Okay, no problem. Roro said that August one too much, Sha. Even for women. Women are like, why? So imagine what a man feels when he's flashed with the picture of August when we're talking about this story. Listen, I don't think an average man can handle it. If they stay there, they will show her shege. If an average man stay with that woman, after that event, even though knowing that they were separated, they will only stay there to show her shege. You know? So I completely understand. Let me play a little bit of it while we're waiting for
The Oscar moment.
I was about to say what
You
we
know, it's like I had to wait to talk about certain things because you needed so much context and so much history in order to really understand what was happening. But I agree with Gammy. I just need people to know, okay? I did not cheat on Will Smith, no matter how sad he was.
It doesn't matter.
When you read this book, you will kind of get an understanding of why the red table even happened in the first place.
Hey, I hear you. Obìnrin. Mr. Ola, no, Mr. Ola, don't do this to me now, please.
Wait, you see how she just talk about paro, wipe it, right? Like he just said it, like just clean out, like nothing just happened.
Are we still alive?
2 minutes ago, she was gaslighting us that we're making assumptions, even though it was her that said what she said on Red Table, dragging precious Will Smith of the world through that process, right? And then she said we were over, and now she said there's deeper stuff, and that Red Table. Okay, she will tell us the reason why the Red Table happened in the book. You find out inside the book. You find out in the book. But Ben, you must read this book with me. But Patrick already assigned us assignment. He said we must read the book. You know,
Uncle Patrick, na big assignment be this one. You know, I actually wanted to order the book, but when I hear that we've been they separated 7 years, and oh man, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to read this because I don't want to read something that after I go to read that I go to verse. I said no. I just don't want to go through it. Let me just leave there. I need my peace of mind. Make I leave the book alone. So Uncle Patrick, I beg, make you and Mr. Ola spare me this one. Because at the verse, I don't know, maybe it's that Africanness in me. Imagine. Okay, now seriously, Mr. Ola.
Yes.
When it comes to the aspect of August. If a woman comes out and say, hey, at my weak point, I was lonely, this just happened spontaneously.
And I haven't felt good for so long.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Ola. I can take that, you know. We can say, okay, they were separated, no problem. Of course, body no be firewood. But from the way this woman is speaking, she is proud of it. Let's call it what it is, Baba.
Let me ask you this question. That's a good point. Let me ask you this question. If she wasn't proud of it, what would she be doing?
No, she wouldn't even want the story to be reverberating. Come on now. We have situation when people even cheated, that somehow they fell short and they cheated, and that would be the last thing they even want people to remember them for, you know.
Right.
But this one right here, this woman where they see, so this woman will carry eye like my grandma.
Say the word. Say the word. Shameless, Abi. Shameless.
Mr. Ola,
say it now.
You can imagine. She even put it in the book. That's to tell you the extent of how proud she is. Honestly,
I feel the public pain when you say that. Yeah, I know. It makes sense.
If black women have not risen up and come against her and say, hey, you messed up, sister, she would have even been saying, you know, this is kind of the right thing to do, you know, it doesn't matter the age. If your boy, your son friend comes around and you feel feeling for him, you can just, you know, let him just slide in and slide out where the people.
I hope it doesn't come out in the book that it was abuse, Sha. Let me play a little bit more.
At the top. Yeah. We talked about that. We did. Beautiful cover. How did you decide on the cover?
We don't want to know about the cover. We don't care.
Oh,
we don't care about. We don't care. We
Mr. Ola, you must see the cover. Or you go see the cover.
We don't see. I don't want to know the story behind the cover. I don't. We don't care about the cover.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care. I don't. I don't care.
The pictures that make up this one woman, right? And so I went to my editor when we were
yourself after writing
the
the book.
Ooh. I learned I'm a work in progress.
Aren't we all?
You know, and
Yeah.
continuously, like I
Yeah.
learned that there's no arriving, you know, like if I'm waiting to arrive somewhere, like, oh, you know, like I've arrived, I'm enlightened, I know who I am and
Yeah,
what
it ain't
life is
that.
all about. It's like, nah. And I just learned like, wow, life is really a journey. Like I've come a long way, but I have so much further to go.
Donetta wants to know, where are you at in your next chapter of life?
I'm in a place of peace. I'm in a place of happiness. And in all honesty, I love where I am as far as Will, my relationship with him. You know, like we went through that long period of separation.
Yes.
Wait. What is she saying now? Let's go
I went
back.
through that long Will, my relationship. Honesty, I love where I am as far as Will, my relationship with him. You know, like we went through that long period of separation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In order for us to journey separately and do some journeying together. And it just seems as though we've come to a really, really beautiful place together.
You know, she didn't say come back together. She's promoting a book. Don't forget that, right?
They are in a beautiful place.
But she said this statement. Hold on.
It seems as though we've come to a really, really beautiful place together. So I'm happy.
Somebody said, yeah.
That's where I am.
She now feels
in
like
this
it's
chapter of
Tupac.
my life. I am finally happy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people want to spend a lot of time trying to understand.
Don't you do it.
Your relationship with Will, and you won't.
Yeah,
you won't. And
Oh,
it's not for everybody.
they said don't try.
What you need to get.
He said, don't bother buying the book. You will not understand the book. The only thing you're going to understand from the book is what created the Red Table Talk.
From this is how important it is for people to create the relationships that work for them.
No. I push back against that. You see, you guys have been listening to me for a while. I've been pushing back against that for a while now because I see it's dangerous. It's very easy to repeat talking point that sounds sweet, that's actually true on paper, but you might destroy yourself because it's out of context, right? Sure, every relationship is unique, but there are principles that guide all of us. We come together, we have things that guide, we do things within controlled environment so that we don't destroy ourselves. You get it? More fresh say, but if they were already separated, divorced, but not legally divorced, they both have other partners. Yes, more fresh. You're right. I saw your previous post, by the way, that Will Smith has been doing his thing, and I try to tell people so they can feel better because I know they're fighting for Will Smith. Will Smith has been doing his thing. Let the brother breathe. You might even be like destroying his game right now by fighting Jada too much. You're distracting him. He's been doing his thing for 7 years. Freedom. Anyway, then what reasonable reason made Will slap Chris? I will slap Chris for the mother of my kids. I'm telling you right now. Okay.
Mr. Ola,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Now, comedy you they do for this show today.
Yeah, I would. Okay. It just depends on what's the weight of what happened behind the scenes. There were things that happened behind the scenes. You already alluded to that already, right? But I would. It just depends. Okay. I don't advise it, right? But I'm just saying, like, you can't. The people react a certain type of way. I do think there are two things that Will Smith have done wrong, in my opinion. Sitting on that Red Table Talk while she was talking about August Asina, that's number one. Number two is jumping on that stage to go and assault another man. He could have ended himself. What if he reacted accordingly? right? So I don't advise that per se. But to answer your question, as in like what could make a man feel like he needs to go and slap, she's the mother of his kids. I don't know if is it only me that feel that way about the mother of my kids, so well, I think more fresh is a woman, so
Mr. Ola.
all the time. Yes. Hold on, but that was why she wrote the book. She's clearing her mind. According to her, Smith helped and gave her the go ahead to write and do the book launch. And we saw a video that nobody wants to play. Nobody else wants to play that video, by the way. Go and look around. Nobody's playing that video because the story agenda must agenda, right? Anyway, she's echoing we they're still together. Anyway, Brother Ben, go ahead. I've been doing comedy here. Tell me, talk to me.
No. You this show today, you were actually kind of being yourself. You are not a teacher today. and that's what I like about today's show. Maybe this one hit close to home because this actually put a lot of men on the spot, let's be honest.
I'm a man, so I can feel Will's pain. But if he's been enjoying himself for 7 years, some freedom, knowing the kind of access he has, I'm not mad at him.
Well, like you said, the slapping of Chris Rock. In fact, when that incident happened, I was one of the people who defended him on their platform. On my Facebook page, I was posting continuously defending his action. Because every man should protect their woman. Basically, that's what we're supposed to do, right?
That's what a man does.
To provide and protect. So, and at that point in time, if somebody can, it's a different thing if you make a mockery of someone's wife and he's not there. It's a different thing. But you're looking at a man eye for eye, and and you are saying this nasty thing about his wife. All in the name of comedy. Come on now. Every man would act like that. Although we can say because these guys are rich, they are millionaires, they have accomplished a lot, they are a public eye, he shouldn't have acted like that.
Right.
But knowing what we know now, my conclusion on that was that we'll probably have some pent-up anger. He bottled up on that moment. When Chris make that joke about his wife, and he's like, this guy, you again, you forget say I be from street, so that is it. Now that we found out that this man has been separated from this woman for the past 7 years, and it was even after that incident I get to know that she was sleeping with her friend, her son's friend, and all that. As a man,
it was after that? It was after the slap?
That's after the slap is when I even find out that part. So for me as a man, I won't lie to you. Knowing all that for a woman, and then Chris make that kind of a joke about her, I will not go up there and slap Chris, but I can rather sue him, let him pay or something.
I will make it clear that I don't do that. But I won't put myself in harm's way. Assaulting another man, because we read you and you never know when that word is bigger than you. It's just the wrong move ultimately, especially coming from emotions,
And if Chris Rock had been somebody who is built like The Rock, I don't think we will walk up there and just slap him. That Oscar will scatter that day.
I don't think it would, but I think we might be underestimating him. He's trained. Will Smith is trained multiple times, So, but you might be right. I think the fact that he's smaller probably made it easier to just let me slap a little man, But Will Smith is trained. Don't get it twisted, That slap was not ordinary slap. He's a trained man. let me. That slap, in fact, kudos to Chris Rock, because that slap is not ordinary slap. It's like a cut slap. It's like anyway.
It be like Nigeria Army man slap.
It's not normal slap now. Even the angle that the slap came from. When we normal people slap person, there's a certain angle we come from. It looks like it came from like this, like it's cut somebody's head, like somebody is using a sword or something. Let me play a little bit more. I think we got a few more here. I don't know if she said anything more important, but
And be willing to step outside the box to create that.
Right.
Because the relationship is between you and Will.
yeah,
I think at the end of the day,
yeah, that's what we're telling ourselves.
is, what do you need for your happiness?
Yeah.
And not what does it need to look like, you know?
Yeah. Because y'all spend a lot of time in what it needs to look like.
That's right. And so now it's just, you gotta find what your truth is.
Right.
Nah, bro, nah. August Asina is not normal. Stop the cap.
So let's thank some people in order.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Tisha,
Tisha,
Liz, Latasha, Cassandra, because keep them coming. Come on, let's keep ordering. We got 10 more minutes, everybody. So you got that little red button over there.
That's a great question, Jessica.
Let me tell you, Willow started reading it.
Yeah.
And Willow has been calling me 3
Daily.
times a day. 3 times a day.
Because it's not an easy
Crying.
read. It's
Well,
not
I don't
an easy
even think
read.
it's about that. I think that she is just so, first of all, you guys don't know this yet, but Willow's got a book coming out in May.
Ah, here we go.
And it's great.
Oh, it's a novel.
Really great. It's called The Black Shield Maiden. And so she's an avid reader and she's a beautiful writer herself. And I think that she's just enjoying reading certain aspects about my life that she didn't know.
Right.
You know, and
What
she
about
wouldn't
the
know.
boys?
They haven't read it yet. You know, the boys, they like, but they know the story.
They know the
We've
story,
sat down
yeah.
and gone through, and the boys are really, Trey and Jaden are so proud and so happy that I finally get to tell my story. They felt like that was really important.
Yeah.
Can we remove some of these? And,
Do you feel you are now
Let's see.
living in your true, authentic
Authentic
self?
self.
Linda wants to know.
Linda, yes, I feel like I'm living in my. And let me tell you,
Stop the cap.
authenticity.
Stop the cap.
You know what I mean? And so
That part.
really getting the courage and the strength to live as in your truth, in your own skin.
No, they're irresponsible with their platform with regards to normalizing or indirectly. Maybe they don't mean to. There's a lot of irresponsibility here that I smell with regards to normalizing bad behavior. You know, and that's the part that I don't appreciate personally. You know, I believe that they've gone through a journey. I think they are a unicorn in terms of that's not necessarily good, by the way. It's just unique, that a unique type of couple. But I think it would have been even better if they kept certain things between them and their therapist. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I will read Willow's book.
It's a novel.
I will read it. Let me read and let me just understand how that poor girl's mind works.
No, that girl, the way they raised those children, from all I can see in public, of course, I don't know them like that. Yeah, I wouldn't raise my kids that way. You know, the woke thing, we need to be careful with the woke thing. I just, like, no.
God bless you.
You know?
God bless you, Mr. Ola.
We need to be careful. We could just do anyhow, progressive. No. No. You know, I like what they seem that they have very strong. Let me see what somebody just said. Oh yeah, I like this part too, Shinye. I do really like this. And thank you for saying that, because I need to spell that out, right? The relationship they have with the kids, I appreciate it, right? Especially when you see the extension to Trey, who is actually biologically a stepson, right? It's beautiful. There's a lot of quote unquote normal people, like normal us, that need to learn from that. Okay? There's a lot of quote unquote normal people that can't stand their stepchildren. They will show them shege. But I bet you paroni láti bi tatimbo. Ilé olórogún. You know, there's a lot we can learn as a society from that.
Yeah.
So if they are weird in terms of this August Red Table talk too much thing, we can appreciate that somehow they've managed to have a certain level of relationship with their children, right? That's respectful on all ends, especially when it's extended over to like step relationship. There's a relationship that they have with the mother of Trey too. That's just beautiful when you watch it, right? That many people need to learn from. That's the reality, you know. Go ahead. You were trying to say something.
Yeah, I think the relationship thing you're talking about is a good one. Having extended friendly hand to the stepson, he can come in the house, play with the family, play with his siblings and all that. That's a good thing. But overall, I think they are just getting away with a lot of crap because they are rich. Let's just be honest. You see, one thing I've noticed so well here in America is that when rich and affluent people do stuff that the society were supposed to frown at, they just get a pat in the back and they will say, you know, he's good, he's their life, you know, and that is it. But the implication of that is that the people who are watching,
their impressionable minds watching.
Thank you. They are watching, and these are people who are not as rich as them. Okay, look at their kids. Honestly, let's be honest. The only one that look normal to me is actually the stepson. I will say it. 2 verse 8.
I think you're talking about looks though. I'm also guessing that you probably don't want your child to have a dreadlock.
No. I don't have issue with dreadlock. I don't have issue.
What about with tattoo on the face? What about tattoo on the face with earrings and dreadlock?
No, you can do that when you get out of my house. If that suits you. But yes, but one thing I know is this: I am going to raise you with so much love and show you why some things have disadvantage and advantages.
Okay.
Let's just be honest. We're saying this now. Some people are watching. We have to learn from this. There are things that your children can do when you are rich. Their future is already made. They have trust fund. Right. There are things they can do that it doesn't matter.
They can get away with some of those things. Our own regular children may not be able to get away with that.
God bless you, Mr. Ola. That's just where I'm coming from. Yeah. You just mentioned tattoo now. It's Will and Jada's children have tattoo all over their face. That won't stop them from inheriting all these millions of dollars and everything their parents already have ongoing for them. You feel me? But let the son of an ordinary man have tattoo on his neck. Let it be showing, not even his face, on his neck. Then tell him to go and look for a job at the bank or look for a job somewhere. They will just, and you are black again. They will just turn you off. So let's be honest. And that
so the point I wanted to extract a little bit of truth out of you is when you said the look. The only one that looked normal among them is the one all the way to the right of your screen.
Yes. If you have been following them, you definitely will know that some of the things the kids are doing is like their parents really just give them free hand to do whatever they want to do, which I don't have problem with that.
Right.
But like I said, some people now who are still struggling, who don't even know where the next bill payment will come from.
They can't afford that. We got to put some structure in place.
Good. And this is why the black community is sometimes messed up because
they're copying nonsense.
Exactly, things that are not applicable to them, they are modeling it. You know. So and that is where, in fact, this kind of thinking has permeated almost everything as far as love, relationship, marriage are concerned. You see rich people, famous superstars, they do some nonsense thing in their marriage, and then the ordinary fellow like you and I, who are still single, they will say, "Oh, they are doing it. That's the kind of thing I want." My brother, my sister, this thing will not work for you. It works for them because they don't need money. They are okay. They are blessed. Nobody, if they decide they don't want to take a movie role, nobody can take what they already achieved. You know?
Yes.
You know, I see people. It's just like
so ultimately, I'm hearing you say there's some kind of balance that's needed, Sha. You know,
exactly.
When we are listening to these celebrities, of course, the optic of it will mislead you. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, the optics of things will mislead you.
That's just my point exactly. Yeah. It's good you look at it, you say it's fair, but don't apply it to your own life. You are not in the same.
Please don't draw tattoo. Please don't say it's okay. We can just love them for no. Try to put some work in place so that your son don't turn out or turn in or come into the house at the age of 22 and say, "Well, it's freedom. I can draw tattoo on one side of my face." They can't. God bless you. They can't get away with that. That's a fact, you know. But overall, I think they done well in terms of how they raise their children. But I know what you mean when you say it seems like Trey is the one that's the most normal. I know what you mean when you say that, because I do feel like that small, you know, somewhere. But when they talk about the relationship, and I see when Willow has conversation with her mother back and forth or her father back and forth, they just seem like it, and all that matters is relationships. All these other things that we're talking about, either what it looks like or anything like that, which I do agree again that they are influential and they should be a little bit more responsible.
Yeah.
All those things don't matter. What matters is our relationships. And a lot of people that are normal, they haven't spoken to their siblings. Some of them are listening to me right now. They haven't spoken to their brother. They are all normal. They haven't spoken to their brother, their blood brother, in 5 years because they are fighting on one stupid issue.
You can imagine.
Right?
God.
Yeah. Or some of them. This one might be close to home. Some of them is a wali that told them that sister is the one doing you.
No baton.
We have our own problems. Let me just say that, you know.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Let me play small. I think they are almost done now, but let me play this one a little small. Oh, it's muted. Let's see.
For me, there was still a lot of things that I didn't know about when I read the book.
Jada, have you forgiven? Charles is asking, Jada, have you forgiven yourself for not following your inner voice? For not following my inner voice.
Well, I don't know that you didn't
follow my inner voice.
Yeah.
She's been following her inner voice. That's the problem.
There was a certain amount of unawareness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not really understanding what was going on with myself.
The problem with Jada is she's been following too much inner voice. You need to listen to the rest of the world. Social intelligence. And she needs to be aware that there's something we call normal, and we don't. There's something things is better, is safer. I know I just used the word safe to not normalize madness, right? Not to say that she's mad. There's a balance. I can't believe
you said that too.
You have to listen to me long enough. What I try to do is, that's why I bring in social intelligence, because everybody wants to say emotional intelligence. Don't speak your truth. No, social intelligence too. You know, everybody else expects a certain type of image, okay? And if you move too mad against that, you collect.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right.
He's accepting that we are at times not at our best. And that's just what it is.
Oh, let me hear what she
says. Accepting our frailties, accepting that we are at times not at our best. And that's just what it is, you know? And then when we realize that when we're not at our best, it's not for anybody else to take personally, you know? There's no one in my life that
She's gaslighting us again.
Even though I know I've hurt people, right? And people have hurt me. But I realized that in me forgiving myself,
I agree with that. I believe that. Really, people don't believe that. Yeah. The public sentiment don't believe she's not intentionally hurting. When you first came here, you said, and I'm paraphrasing small, correct me, right? You said, can you not see how this woman has manipulated? Manipulated. That's what you said, right? Something like that, right? I don't believe she's intentionally manipulated. I believe she has manipulated. I believe she has hurt people, just like she just admitted to. You know, but I also believe that it's hurt people that hurt people. What do you say to that?
I agree. It hurt people that hurt people, but sometimes I've stayed in this country long enough to know that sometimes people take the advantage of their mental status to do some shitty things they are not supposed to do. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Ola. It is in this same country you will see somebody that will intentionally carry another person and tell you say in brain no dey home when he do am. So they do that a lot. What she's doing is maybe at one point or the other she was probably diagnosed with some issues going on with her, and then she capitalized on that to do some other nonsensical things.
Right.
And she probably knew that she had gone way too far. So now maybe she see that, okay, my husband can never leave me. You know, there's a woman that will actually do some things and they'll say my husband can never leave me. And when you see the man true, the man cannot go nowhere.
It's bottled up. It's already bottled up. It's a bottle.
Yes, so
listen,
so
I think the bottling people up thing, I think it happens, and I think it happens even a lot of time, even proverbially, right? The man he's bottled, like you can say indirectly, directly, but it's not going anywhere. You know, for many reasons. Who knows? You know, but as long as he's getting value out of the situation, for me, the way I see it, Will Smith is a very powerful man. He must be mentally healed for him to not be getting value out of this relationship that he has with this woman and stay there. He has to be mentally sick. That's the only way it's possible.
I think I'm still gonna hang on to my first.
I know that was a difficult one for you to process.
Yeah, we'll probably.
I know you've heard me. Let me repeat for people in the back.
Okay.
Will Smith has to be mentally healed for him to stay in this situation, and I mean mental illness, and that's my opinion, right? For him to stay in this position, and it's not getting out of any value out of the nature of the relationship he has with this woman right now, which she's made clear that they are separated, but in the last 2 years they've been on a journey together, right? So that fantasy that they are separated is not the reality from what she just said. But they are separated, living in different households, doing business together, doing life together, have children together, right? Probably do dinners together. You know how you're too rich and people come over for dinner every evening, right across the other building in the same compound. Just think about that in your head, right? They don't live in townhouses, right? They live in multiple buildings in the same, with acres upon acres in the back, right? So if you can picture that, these people don't have our reality, but there's some core principles that we can learn from there, right? So he's getting some kind of value in participating in this Asaba movie, unless it's mentally healed. Okay? So when people stay in situations that we were like, how could you, right? Women do that a lot. Like, no, it can never be me, right? When you say that, just remember what I just said, that they're getting some kind of value from that situation. Maybe you can't comprehend. To you know values in the eyes of the beholder. To some people, this microphone is stupid. It's $100 microphone. If they don't buy $1,000 microphone, they're not okay, right? For me, I'm like, this one is good, right? Maybe I'll get to some point later on in this journey where I'll be able to appreciate $1,000 microphone. We're not there yet. One step at a time. The point here is that value in the eyes of the beholder, right? And if you can appreciate that, I think that goes a long way. You know, I'm still pissed off at the whole August Asina situation. I am. Because that's one element that if it wasn't in this story, it is still a fairy tale story for many people. That one aspect is what's throwing a lot of people off. As I think Will and Jada will still be able to sell tons, thousands, hundreds of thousands of books without August being in the story. But just so you know, it was August that started the narration show. It was one that started telling the story. But I don't think they needed to answer him either. But I guess she would tell us something different inside of the book. But I bet you want to say something, or I should finish the video first. There's 2 more minutes on the video.
Just finish it. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
It's very easy to forgive others because I know that whatever somebody's done to me was not personal, and it was really about their relationship to themselves. When we don't have good relationships with ourselves, you can't really have good relationships with others.
One thing I want to ask too, and it might have been part of this, but do you have any regrets?
You know what?
Somebody asked that question.
Ouch.
I don't really have regrets. I have remorse. I don't regret anything.
What?
I have no regrets.
Wait. She's the one.
Biri.
Wait. Is she white and she's gaslighting us? Oh my God, she is going hard. She doesn't have any regrets. She has remorse. At that point, it's not like I want her to revisit the August thing, but maybe she can at least say red table. Something that symbolizes all of that, right? She says doesn't have regret but remorse. What is the difference? All of my scholars, all the scholars here, please, what is the difference between remorse and regret?
Everything I do,
What is the difference? I beg, somebody help me. But I beg, you know the difference between remorse and regret.
Mr. Ola? You know, say I know they do you both thing now. Just excuse me this one because the woman they make me the vex the more. Are you listening to what the shameless woman is saying?
Oh Lord. She doesn't have regrets, this remorse. Okay. Let me ask somebody, what is the difference? Right? What is the difference between, in fact, let me ask Google, right? I'll go ask you, what is the difference, Bala Blue? What is the difference between regret and remorse? Before she tells us our own version of the difference.
Maybe she is saying, I don't regret it, but I feel bad about it. I mean, is that not still the same thing?
I guess I do think regret can be can create more damages. I think that's probably where she's going. The regret can make you feel a sense of guilt, because I also talk about guilt here, and I do teach that here as guilt. That guilt, blame, fault are poisons, right? You see on the screen, it says shaming, insult, blame, fault, judgment. Guilt falls under 3 because it's like blaming. Oh, number 6 actually is guilt, right? These are poisons for relationships. They just make you feel worse about yourself, and when you feel worse about yourself, you will end up hurting other people more. But according to Google here, it says regret and remorse are both negative emotions. They're both negative emotions. So they're negative emotions that we feel when we think about something we have done in the past. However, there's a subtle but important difference between the two. Regret is a feeling of sadness and disappointment about something that you have done or not done. It is often focused on the consequences of your action. The focus is on you collect, and that doesn't produce good fruit. Such as missing out on an opportunity or making a mistake, regret can be a powerful motivator for change, as it can help you to learn from your mistakes and make better decisions in the future. However, it can also be a source of pain and suffering, as it can lead to rumination and self-doubt. Now, remorse is a feeling of deep sorrow and guilt actually remorse is closer to guilt according to them. Sorrow and guilt about something that you've done, especially something that has caused harm to others, right? To others. It is often accompanied by a sense of moral responsibility for your actions. Remorse can be a powerful motivator for making amends and taking steps to prevent future harm. However, it can also be a debilitating emotion, as it can lead to feelings of shame and worthlessness. You get it?
I get that.
Okay, because at this point, Oyibo,
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Yeah, I think pressure to what? Let me see what they're saying. Remorse is feeling bad for what you did. Regret is feeling good or bad. Yeah. I don't know, man. English is just a terrible language at this point. Let me see what she said to finish that point.
Because I feel like, for me personally, I can't say anything, I can't speak about anybody else, but for me personally, everything that I've encountered, everything that's happened, has been a stepping stone towards my healing. You know what I mean? But I do have remorse. I have remorse around, like I just said, that people who've gotten hurt along the way and hurting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people's like, hurt yourself.
What is this?
Why are we talking about you?
What?
Nobody can see that, Carlos. It's
Okay, so we are going to wrap this up. We are on, just so that you know, go to, we have ourworthyjourney.com if anybody wants to come out.
All right, she's promoting the book, which is fine, but that was tough. This is why I don't do long reactions, because it takes forever. But Abeno, let me get some words from you, I beg.
Okay, Mr. Ola.
Thank you for coming up, by the way. You're welcome anytime. And if you ever need me on the show, you want to do a live on your end, let me know. But you gotta give me 48 hours, so.
No problem, Mr. Ola. Let me just finish this school where I go put myself first. The school is dealing with me right now.
I feel you. It's good now.
Yes, my brother. So basically, what I just see in all this is that this woman, I think she's used to getting away with so many bad behavior. That's just how I'm going to conclude this. And she found a man who loved her wholeheartedly. I think there is no denying that Will actually love her from the get-go. When I was on Auntie B show yesterday, one of the reference I made was that I blame Will Smith for ignoring the red flag, because this woman, from what I gather, she said she don't want to be married.
She didn't want to be married.
Yes, that's what I gathered. And if a woman tell you from beginning that she don't want to be married, that's she indirectly saying that, you know what, I like you, I want you, but I don't think I want to be your wife.
Right.
Because being married means you are in for the long haul. So if she says she don't want to be married in the first place, why married her? So, but then when I dig into Will's history, I realized that Will came from a very good home. He was raised well. Let me put it that way. He seems like a guy who want to do the right thing, who believe in marriage, and he believe in family. So, and we all do this. When we love a woman, sometimes we overlook her shortcomings and feel that, you know what, as time goes on, she's gonna change. So I think that's just what happened to Will. And being a superstar, these guys in Hollywood, they have too many secrets that we, the audience, the observers, we don't see it. So sometimes in their private life, they may have a whole lot of BS that they have done, a lot of stuff that might have happened to them that is not open to the public, and only the person who is closer to them can see it. So I think between the line, something happened. So either Will Smith was hanging on to her just to save face, to promote that ideal couple kind of. I even heard they were calling them black couple go or marriage go or something. That was a term they say Oprah Winfrey developed to describe them and all that. So, but this woman, from everything I've heard, since I know Jada is the wife of Will Smith. I've never heard this woman said any sweet thing about her husband, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Not even today. There were at least a couple of times today now, but I bet.
What did she talk today? This one where she did do damage control. This is damage control now. What do you want to say?
All right. You're taking it as damage control. I hear you. Go ahead, continue. Yeah.
So she have not said anything reasonable about him. However, since me, I know maybe she say it to him in private, though, but I'm not getting that energy from her in public. So now, turning around, messing with your son's friend, and coming public now and telling us that you guys have been separated for 7 years, and you are still saying I have no regret, I had remorse. This is all gibberish. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I feel about all this.
That's how you think.
This is like entitlement for me. She's feeling entitled. It's like she's saying all this, expecting people to come and praise her. Hey, Jada, like I said, I've been here for a while now, and I've seen how they play this mental health card all the time. When people messed up, you just bring your mental health card out. Oh, I'm in somewhere mentally now. I can't think straight. Something is affecting me now. I was depressed, and then all of a sudden, everybody will start feeling having this sympathy towards them. That it was this, it was that. From what this woman have been saying so far, all this shalaye that she has done so far, this is a woman who knew exactly what she was doing. She messed up big time, and she just can't stand up and take accountability and say, "Hey, I messed up. I'm sorry." So that's just my own take in all this drama. And this I see now, what's that boy again? The son's friend. Right. I think that is just one mistake that's gonna live with her for the rest of her life. I can tell you that this woman get boyfriend beside that boy. Was the boy? How long has that happened? No, Mr. Life, you can tell this woman get boyfriend. If Will Smith is there opening his teeth behind her, no voice, he can't talk. This woman get boyfriend. Maybe now one guard, one bodyguard or somebody now they help her summon the Congo self or something. So I'm not just buying everything she's saying. All I'm gonna take away here, or what I will say as I round up, is this.
Right.
Somebody being a superstar doesn't mean that they have a perfect life.
Oh yeah, I hope we all know that now.
Yeah, people only show you what they want you to see in public. Okay, I was on a live show on a Facebook program one time, and then because it was on Facebook, a lot of people were watching. When I told the host that, hey, look, me and my wife we dey fight well, even the host was shocked, because every time the host saw the picture of me and my wife on Facebook, is only when we are married, when everything is sweet.
Yes, you know? Normal now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that I don't have six-pack. If I want post for Facebook now, I post something that you look at, you like, man, this guy is fine. Until you see me on my one pack, because you'll be like, wait, Mr. Ben, what is going on? So what I'm saying in a nutshell is this. Don't just look at people's life and think you want to model your own marriage, your relationship according to their own. They have a whole lot of crap going on in their home that you don't see. You only get to see what they show you. Now that this woman have come out and started talking like parrot now, you can all see that Will Smith was in a different place entirely than what we used to believe he was. So that's my take, Mr. Ola. Thank you for having me, my brother.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. You're welcome anytime.
No, Allah.
All right. How should I end this show today? I want to end this show. Okay. I want to end the show. Interesting. All right. But I've been dropped a lot of points, and that I feel like I need to add context to. Okay. As usual, this is not about anybody being wrong. It's about, I'm just looking for opportunities to add context, okay? Because that's the one thing that I feel like is missing when it comes to dating and relationship, okay? Just context. I feel like it's missing a lot. It's a lot of, as naturally so, it's a lot of generalizations over simplifications of very, very complex issues. And we're creating the results we're creating in society. As a society, a lot of people they're engaging the progressive, absolute, extreme progressive aspect of things, and it's not solving any problem. And I don't think they're necessarily looking to solve problem, to be fair. They just want to be at peace. But we're social beings, okay? We live our best lives being connected to other people. We need to be connected to other people. We have a need. It's actually a basic human need. We have a need for connection to other people, okay? So any solution that we're providing, you can see, is number 4. Basic human needs, particularly from an emotional standpoint. So any type of solution we provide for ourselves or make ourselves feel good in the short term that does not factor that in, we just hurt ourselves. Okay, we'll hurt ourselves. All right, but he said many things with regards. I don't think this issue is about Jada and Will. Ultimately, the way we interpret these issues is ultimately about ourselves. We use our own lens to interpret these issues, how we see lives. Our outlook on life is how we see these things, and that's how we interpret everything that's going on, right? So what do you do with that? We just need to be aware of that so that we don't hurt ourselves. Okay, when I say hurt ourselves, meaning we create bad results. Okay, like overall, you look at a period of 3 months, you're like, the result I have is not what I want. You look at a period of 5 years, you're like, the result that I have is not what I want, right? If you start to look at it like that, that's what I'm talking about. If you're looking at just this moment, you might feel good. So you can say, hey, I have good result. I feel good. There are so many things you can say to yourself that make you feel good now. There's so many things I can say to you that make you feel good now, right? But when you apply it to your life at a micro level, is it micro level? Yes. That might not be what you want. In fact, what I just said to you might end up destroying you. Okay? And those are some of the things that I have issues with. A lot of the things that Jada is saying. Everything she's saying at emotional level is correct. Right? There's no good product that will come from her feeling emotions that we can directly translate to the disgust we feel about what just happened to that family. Remember the disgust that we feel about what just happened to that family. If she continues to interpret that and internalize that, and she feels that emotion all the time, nothing good will come out of it, right? She's not going to be settled enough to even put a book together, to write a book. How much more thinking about how we can use it to help other people. I do think that the reality is that we do judge the books by their cover. That's why we took the time. Some of you helped me design this cover book. I gave you 3 different versions, right? And you helped me pick this one. You remember that? Anybody remember that? Exactly, because people do judge the book by the cover. Imagine me saying, no, it's what's inside of it that matter. As long as the word is matter, like, no. If you are the cover and public sentiment, it's not good. Right? I would just do all the work internally if you could, if there's still room for that. But, they have their reasons for doing what they did. Okay? I don't think she got away with a lot. I think precisely, right, is that she seems like she's getting away with a lot to us because we're looking at it from the outside, right? But if you enter zone where they are dragging this woman, she did not get away with nothing. Nothing. Even when Will Smith went on the stage and slapped another man, she collected on top. Okay? So now, I don't know what we need to see to make us feel, the public, feel like she didn't get away with a lot. I'm not sure how far the extent, the pain that we need to see her go through, that we need to see. I'm not sure what that is, but I get it. Okay? That's what we call public sentiment. That's how we see it. And it makes sense. I'm glad that we still see it that way. I'm glad that we still have some level of shame in society where we say, no. Please stop trying to normalize sleep with your son's friend. It doesn't make sense. No. We need you to say clearly, right? Spell it out that this was wrong. I don't think there's anything she can ever say that will be enough for us, to be clear. So if we're talking about mental health for her, I think she's doing what she needs to do, minus the selling books on the name of Og and Tupac at the expense of Will. But if they say Will help them put it together, bro, make we no take Panadol for somebody else's headache. You get it? You get it? That we shouldn't swallow pain med for other people's pain. We need to also be careful about that. She didn't want to be married. I'll put it to you. Almost all women will go through something traumatic. Okay, maybe traumatic is too much of an extent. Some kind of painful experience in their marriage that they will question the day they decided to marry. Okay? Correct me, ladies, if I'm wrong, and I will stand corrected. My own personal assessment, almost every woman have gone through or will go through a moment or a series of moments where they questioned or they cursed the day they decided to get married. They questioned it. And the way they will say it is precisely this: I didn't want to be married. Okay? And as men, we generally don't understand that. We have a hard time understanding that. Because we just had an argument. What's the big deal? Why are you questioning the day we got married? Well, did you hear what Taiwo said earlier? Taiwo Oyebanjo. Tibanj. Taiwo Banj. You heard what she said earlier? Okay. Now we say, why did you marry that woman? We can't use that moment, or when they are expressing the emotions that they feel in the worst moment in their marriage, we can't use that to determine that they should have married or not. It's not accurate. Well, how do I know? Because almost all women, and I'm being safe when I say almost, dare I say all of them, okay, will go through a moment and they were like, there were signs, there were red flags. Right? That's the reality. Okay? So the fact that she says she didn't want to be married, actually not me taking it. The reality is that she's talking about emotions. She's talking about emotions, right? And then also in terms of actual reality beyond emotions, if you look at this lady's background, it makes sense to her that the idea of marriage is a strange thing to her, right? Now, to be fair to Will Smith, she probably didn't sit down there and say, I don't want to be married, like verbatim. He said, I don't want to be married. So Will Smith should have seen it coming. No, I want to be fair to him. The whole experience when they got together was probably not exactly like that. They were probably having a good time, right? Lots of good time. She might have said, like, I'm not sure if I'll be married. Oh, that's her words. Her actions may be saying something else. Her vibe, everything may be saying something else, right? Now, if somebody say outrightly no to you because after you propose to them, obviously you shouldn't go. But what I'm saying is that one of the things that we men need to learn how to do is, when they say what they say, you also need to also learn how to read the vibes, right? Because if you take everything on face value, what they say, you're actually probably going to miss it, and you'll probably overreact to everything too. So there's the other flip side of things there, right? So I'm not sure if that carries any more weight than most women when they are going through a funky time. They say, well, I think I've married the wrong person. Okay? So, let me see. Will came from a good home. I was listening to the replay of Auntie B's show. You need to read Will's book. The idea that Will came from a good home. You need to read Will's book. In fact, one of the issues that Will is dealing with is he still feels that he's not able to protect the women in his life because he felt guilty for a long time not being able to protect his mother. Okay? So, yes, there might be mommy issues there. There are deeper issues. Precisely, there are mental health issues involved. It's not a card. It's not a card. It's our reality. Mental health is our reality, right? So if it's off, we will act mad. Okay, not mad as in we're jawere sigboro, as in like we won't be able to make proper decisions. Our ability to make decisions will be tampered with, right? So I outrightly don't agree that anytime somebody say mental health, we need to take it seriously, because it's such a thing that you don't see that we can't afford to do that. We need to. You can't listen too much. You can't have too much patience. You can't. Precisely what we need more of is more active listening and more patience. And if the person says my issue is mental health, it is actually a mental issue that they will lie against themselves to say they have mental health if they don't have mental health. Think about what I just said. Did you get it or you don't get it? It is a mental health issues that they will lie against themselves that they don't have mental health when they actually don't have mental health, and they actually don't have mental health, but they said they have mental health. Did you see what I just said? Abi, you get it? You get it? When I get it, at that point, we need to pay attention to the mental health.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
We need to pay attention at that point in time. We don't say, well, all this people. No. We need to be careful with that, okay? And that's why it sneaks up on people, because it's usually dismissed. Definitely need to be careful with that. All right? I believe them. Hello, OJA. I believe them. I believe them. I believe that they're being irresponsible with regards to their responsibility on public sentiments. Precisely. Okay? And I believe that Will was lacking that. That's why he was able to climb that stage and go slap that man. If he was considering everything, he wouldn't do it. He would maintain that straight line. He was trying, but he's a human being, so that can happen to the best of us, no matter how much we know. In fact, it's worse when you know so much, because when it comes to action, it's usually lacking there too. When it comes to actual actions, right? So I believe in the public sentiment. I believe that there's truth to it. I believe that we see what we see. I think we need to push against anybody who is indirectly normalizing bad behavior, right? If human beings are still going to make mistakes, such as sleeping with a friend of their son, an acquaintance of their son, I know they're not that close, but an acquaintance of their son, if they will still make that kind of mistake, even when they're a normal, smart, intelligent woman, then we definitely don't need to be normalizing it, because eventually somebody is going to be mad enough to say, just do you as long as they're adult. No. That's weird. That's weird behavior now. You know, that's weird behavior. So we definitely need to be careful with that. You know. But yes, I think this was a good session. Let's round it up. Let me come to the chat. I think somebody's saying something. Yeah, shout out to you, OJA. Chai RA say, when Tupac passed, he was engaged to married to another woman, Quincy Jones' daughter. Remember that story? She's on something else on this one. Yeah, exactly. I believe there might be more stories around debunking that. She did say today earlier on that Tupac proposed while he was on Rikers Island. Who knows? Never know. Anytime she talks about Tupac, she'll be crying. Why don't she cry for Will? One of the hardest things for me to ever defend is Will and Jada. Okay? When the whole August thing happened, especially after the slap, I went, my wife and I we binge watched a few Red Table Talks, right? So maybe I might have more context than people who are just reading the headlines. The headlines are upsetting, okay? And I read this book, so maybe I might have more context, you know. But again, the optics are bad. They're bad, and they're very irresponsible with regards to the optics. Because I don't think they need the money from the books. I don't think so. Roro says, shortcomings. Auntie B was talking about her height. Right. I haven't finished that show yet, but I haven't finished watching it yet. But I just remember the whole Will Smith was raised in a good household. No, he wasn't. The father was a soldier who was beating the crap out of the mother, and he saw all of it. There's nothing good about that household that he was raised in. Okay? And as a matter of fact, it was something that he struggled with all the way till he had a relationship with the father and the mother separately after a while, but it was the way the household Will Smith was raised in. No. That's not like it's too far from good. No. I'm sure if you Google something about it, you will see maybe an excerpt or something from the book that will give you a peep into that. He wasn't raised, he was wearing uniform in Philly and they sent them to school. But you know those kind of story where like, but inside the house, not at all. Mofre say, what is different between pap and ogi? Remorse and regret. Wahala. Anyway, let's round it up for today. I appreciate you for being here today, for hanging out with me for so long. Shout out to all 11 of you watching me live at this point. Shout out to all 100 plus of you that will watch this later, I'm sure. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you've been enlightened. Oh, do me a favor. Hit that like button on your way out, okay? Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.